Oh, damn. Now I feel pressure. We don't have anything fun to talk about before I open the show.
Um, Large areolas.
That's one way to go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you been, my friend?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's complicated. I had a very productive day, but it's been very stressful at the same time.
damn. Well, I'm sorry about the stressful part, man.
It's usual shit. Just everything's kind of piling up, and I'm not getting. You're just kind of treading water. So I'm not going to get into it on air, but yeah, it's been a kind of rough couple of weeks.
Ah, damn. Sorry to hear that.
But how are you?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. It's Donald's birthday. Let's do this first. Donald, it's your birthday, and this one is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
To you.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to you.
To you.
Happy birthday,
dear Donald Camp.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. Hope you have a great one. Really, really do. Good morning, Nuts. How you doing, sweetheart? Yeah, Jack, here's how my day went. I went to get off the floor today and fell and hurt myself.
That sounds like you. Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. I only got about 6-8 inches off the floor when everything went wrong, and hurt my hands because I was right by a wall and I put my hands out to keep my head from hitting, which still hit, by the way.
So what you did was pointless, is what you're telling me.
Yes, and I hurt my hip and my whole thigh actually. So that's how my day went. Yeah, it's just the way it is. On the other hand, I've been told that I've been exposed to COVID, so that's great.
Well, having had it, like I told you off air, the diarrhea only lasts about a week.
And that's awesome.
I laid in bed and didn't get up except to piss for 2 days. And then I tried to stream on the 4th day, and that lasted literally half an hour. I wish I was being figurative, but it was literally a half an hour. And I was like, I feel like shit. So
in chat, Andrew Tate's genital ward says, "Hail Monkey, our disabled hero." I appreciate it.
You're not the hero we need, but you're the hero we deserve.
I'm the hero you deserve. No, for the record, for those who have asked, nothing on the baby front yet. Hopefully we'll have a new baby around here soon, Jack. Hopefully Cran baby's born soon. And apparently I gave credit to that for Faithless, and maybe it had gone around the day before. Whoever was the first one to say that, thank you. I think it's become the official thing. The whole family really likes Cran baby. I love that. It's great. And I'm sorry if I missed it the night before. It's just, I sometimes don't pay attention to chat, Jack.
No, you what?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
So, Faithless says I said it the day before. Well, then I still gave proper credit. It was just the wrong day.
Yeah, I knew somebody in chat said I thought it was Faithless, but I don't know. I'm going with Faithless, though, so I trust his judgment. First of all, thank you, Metal Minister, for the donation 2 days ago, who said, Jack, you missed a perfect Dio reference with Holy Fire. Holy Fire, there's so much smoke we can hardly see. No feds are coming for me. Yeah, I miss a lot of good Dio references because I usually stick to Last in Line or Holy Diver. And sometimes Man on the Silver Mountain. Those are my go-tos for Dio.
Anytime I hear Holy, though, I don't go to Dio. I go to Batman and Robin, the 60s show, Batman.
Yeah, that's fair.
Holy Fire, Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, instead he's like, Holy Fire, yeah. I can't do a good Dio or heavy metal impersonation. We probably need Evil One for that because he was actually in a metal band or Viking. But other than those guys, I just sing in the car when no one's around because that makes me happy.
Retro from just a couple of minutes ago. Thank you, my friend. That's very, very generous. Just a little something for the newest little monkey. I appreciate that, my friend.
Nice.
Yeah, 4th granddaughter on the way, man. 4 of them.
Your life wasn't complicated enough.
There's oh, dude, this is so cute. I was getting something. We have a refrigerator that has the freezer on the bottom, and I was getting something out of the freezer, and I went to stand up, and I got a shooting pain around my ribs. So I just went, oh, and stopped for a second. And the little one was standing there, and she grabs my arm and she starts slowly pushing my arm up to help Grandpa get up.
Oh,
And then she told me today that I'm the best grandpa ever.
harsh commentary on her other grandfather.
I don't know if there is a grandfather on the other side.
Oh,
I'm like, I know on with my daughter's children. My son-in-law's dad passed away quite a while ago, so I am the only grandfather on that side.
Oh,
you know what though? She said ever, so that's better than all the other grandfathers out there. No offense to those in the audience who are grandfathers, but apparently I'm better than you.
well, I mean, a child said it, and we're supposed to listen to the wisdom of children.
The wisdom of children. Speaking of the wisdom of children, let's talk about Kyle Rittenhouse for a moment, because his name was floating around Twitter all day today, and several people were wondering why. Kyle Rittenhouse is putting out a book, and I have to put this up on the screen, Jack, because I saw this and I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. This is how MSNBC tells it. Kyle Rittenhouse writes a book about shooting that made him a right-wing celebrity. Rittenhouse claims he never wanted to be a public figure. Now he appears to be milking his notoriety for all it's worth.
Well, first of all, even if he was doing that, which I doubt, I'm okay with that because he's not going to be able to have a regular job.
Well, they won't even let him go to school.
No, they're all about life ruination, and this is just one more way to do that.
Yeah, and look, I don't blame the guy for capitalizing on it.
Yeah, good for him.
His choices are limited at this point.
Yeah.
I read today that this came from Ed Krasenstein's, like, he's not a hero, but he's not guilty. But his decisions caused all this. No.
I think a pedophile running after him probably helped.
Yeah, he had that gun all night long, and he didn't shoot anybody until they started attacking him.
What? You hate monger.
Ed Krasenstein, he actually says this. He caused it by walking down the street with an AR-15.
And crossing state lines. Bum, bum, bum.
He was walking down the street with his AR-15, offering medical help, you fucking retard. The famous scene that he's talking about with Kyle walking down the street with a gun is when Kyle's turning himself in after the shootings. And I know that because if he'd paid attention to the rest of it, he'd know, like I just said, that when Kyle was walking down the street, it was offering medical attention.
No, see, he was offering medical attention with hot death from his assault rifle.
Yeah. He just was out there like, hey, you want a bandage so I can shoot you?
Yeah, like, come on, that's so obviously not true because he's not Canadian.
Pyra said, would Ed say the same thing about a woman who got raped? Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. She could even be saying, rape me, and he'd be like, you can't, no, because he's full-on lefty. But yeah, I saw a whole bunch of people talking about this, and I was asked, why are people talking about this now? People are talking about Kyle today because of his new book. That's what, and they're like, how dare he profit off of this? Look,
I just expected you were going to say he came out as trans because it was Trans Awareness Day.
Oh, no, we got some trans stuff here in a second, Jack.
Oh.
To the hero thing, I do want to address this. I still say Kyle's not a hero, okay? I don't think he is.
He's not.
He's an accidental hero because with the killing of JoJo, that means there's a lot of 9-year-olds who are not going to be raped anymore.
Yeah, and a lot of grandmas that won't be punched.
But yeah, remember, JoJo, the first guy that Kyle shoots, Kyle doesn't know he's a pedophile, but the guy was a pedophile. He raped several 9 to 11-year-old boys.
I would argue that guy had a criminal head shape. So
he did, yeah. He was also a pedophile who was chasing an underage person through a parking lot in the middle of the night.
Dude, if I saw that guy running at me in the dark, I'd want to shoot him too. He was creepy as shit looking.
Dangerous says 17-year-old have to be the responsible one. My favorite thing that Ed says in there is Kyle knew what he was doing.
Kyle should have.
This whole narrative that he was just out there looking to shoot somebody's fucking retarded, and I will not entertain that because it's dumb.
JoJo could have been so much.
What's that?
Are you cutting out or am I? Monkey.
Well,
Is that me or him?
I think it's me, and this is going to be a problem because we want to watch videos tonight.
Oh. Yeah, it's you. Okay.
Shit.
I blame older boys.
Well, we'll see what happens as the night goes along. But anyway, thank you, Evolved Potato, who says, I have a grandson. He will.
Yeah, you're going to have to start all that over.
What's that?
You're going to have to start all that over. We didn't get any of that.
All right. Well, you know what? Tonight's video is going to be choppy because I have to switch to the other internet because I can't.
Well, you know what? Tonight's like, share, and subscribe.
There we go. All right. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
No, we're gonna end up with choppy videos tonight because the other internet's just being too dicky. But thank you, Evolved Potato, who says, if you ever have a grandson, he will grow up being a living doll for the granddaughters. Indeed. But for now, we're at least on a pause for new grandchildren. So
yeah, that's what you say now.
These things will happen. Anyway, let's move along. So no more Kyle. People are just being dickish because he wrote a book. And how dare he said he didn't want the notoriety, but now he's capitalizing on it. Go fuck yourselves. You guys made it so he cannot do anything else with his life. You guys are still out there calling him a murderer, for fuck's sake.
No, they won't stop until he commits suicide, and then they'll be like, what? Why? Or somebody murders him, and they'll be all faux shocked about it.
Some dumb bitch on Twitter, she put out that she reserved, 135,000 copies of his book. And she's
I saw that.
She's like, these will just sit there now. $3 million worth, guys. It's like $3.5 million worth. Here's the thing. Yeah, he's not going to get the sales from that. But what she did is just made him a bestseller on Amazon. Good job. You're trying to keep people from being able to look at his book, and you just put it right out front and for everybody. You silly bitch. But hey, she did something smart, Jack.
Yeah, something like that. Also, there's no physical shopping cart where they're putting those. It's just electronic numbers. They're not really a pallet of those reserved just for you, waiting for you to pay, you stupid nitwit.
No.
I hate people like that. That's some real boomer logic.
Yeah. All you did is show that the book is worth reading, you idiot.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's move along. This one I'm going to have to read because it's really, really quiet. But in honor of Trans Awareness Day, Jack, we have to look at this trans woman here because she has some stuff to say.
Oh, shit. I saw this video. Hang on real quick. Thank you, Alan, for the generous donation. Says, morning, Jack. Morning, Alan. Hope you're doing well.
And Alan, thank you, who says morning. Good morning. Sorry, Jack.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. I didn't want to start pissing diamonds because it hurts like hell, but I will sell them. Right? Yeah, this is Kyle's one chance to actually make some money. So,
I think he has more chances. It's just not going to be in any traditional way.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get into like commentary or something like that, some sort of entertainment industry. But yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested. I'd read his book. I'd be interested in seeing what he has to say.
I just don't know.
Not
We
gonna
all
buy it
watched.
new.
We all watched what happened, man, and then we all watched the trial. We all watched him break down as he's talking about it. We said this at the time, man. This kid is fucked up for life. He killed people.
Yeah.
And that's not easy to deal with. It's not like the movies where it's like, haha, I did the good thing. I don't think Kyle wanted to actually kill people.
No, and he's pretty young, even at 18. That's
Yeah.
gonna haunt him for a long, long time.
All right. It is trans awareness nonsense. Here we go. So this person says, just saw a video. You know what? I'm just gonna mute her because you hear how low that is.
Yeah,
Just saw a video of a cis woman saying that periods, damn it, it goes too fast, that periods trans women get are fundamentally different than the periods cis women get. Well, let's stop right there. The periods trans women get aren't real. Men cannot have periods. Just gonna throw that out. I saw somebody today say, periods are not menstruation. I think it's in this video. Yeah, it is. It really is.
I don't like this person.
Me neither. Because it's from medicine we choose to take, as if that medicine isn't the same shit that gives you your periods. That's all we're going to watch about this, because that's all I care about. This is all I need to talk about. All right. Let me get my voice. I just want to make sure my voice is very clear for this part. The hormones that you get are regulated. They give you the same amount of estrogen all month long. Nothing changes unless you have a really, really bad doctor. Okay? Women, when they have their periods, hormone levels change. It's same with pregnancy and menopause and all of these things that make women actually women. That stuff, it's not regulated like it. I get my period once a month. Then you have a really shitty doctor who's giving you medicine that doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Your estrogen levels aren't changing. You silly bitch.
Also, you don't have the proper muscles for that.
You do not have the uterus to have the cramping that you get. No, you need to take a shit and stop eating at Taco Bell so much.
Well, I don't know. If you need to take a shit, eating at Taco Bell usually hooks you right up.
Well, maybe. I'm so tired of this nonsense. It's the same hormones they give you. It varies in women. You're not having a doctor's like, okay, I don't know what the levels are, but like 10 milligrams of estrogen on Monday, but on Tuesday, only take 5 so that we can, have it like a women's period.
Make it authentic.
Yeah. You get the same amount all month long. That shit doesn't change, retard. Stop trying to pretend you're an actual woman. You're just not.
You don't know me.
I do. I know real life. I know science. I know biology, at least the minimal stuff that we should all know about the differences between men and women.
That's bigoted, Monkey.
They give us the same stuff that you guys have. Yeah, yours is in a steady dose, dumbass.
Also, women don't have to take shots to have that experience. Doesn't come in the form of medicine. It's what the kids would call natural.
I'm just tired of hearing this stupid shit. I really am.
It's because it's fucking dumb.
It's really retarded. Speaking of retarded, Jack, did you see Nikki Haley get embarrassed today?
No. Oh, yeah, with the kid? Yeah.
With the kid, yeah. We're going to watch that one. It's very short, and even if it's a little jumpy, it's still going to be worth it.
This is why you don't look. Actors know this. It's awful to work with kids and animals.
Yes.
Obviously, Nikki Haley didn't think this through, or somebody in her staff did, because this totally blew up in her face, like the fucking inept retards they are.
Thank you, Crimgate. Why do they want periods so bad? As a biological woman, I don't want my period. It hurts. It smells. It's annoying. No, sweetie. Apparently, you did not get the message. Your period is empowering.
Yeah, it also is validating that they are, in fact, women. Or
Yes.
some nonsense bullshit like that.
Well, that's what it's really about. It's about, see, I am a real woman. I have the period, just like the real woman. Except you don't. You don't.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. Why do these people want periods anyway? Why subject yourself to entirely unnecessary suffering? Tell Monk to check his slabs.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, because I've been around women on their periods, and they are some of the most reactionary, angry people on the planet. Sometimes they cry a lot when you say mean things about their clothes, or like, I know why your boyfriend doesn't propose to you, that sort of thing. They get real emotional about that shit, and it's tiresome.
The real reason is what you said a moment ago. It's the validation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's all it's about. It's to prove that they are real women. Keldrick, thank you so much. Kyle would make an excellent janitor. He's really good at taking out the trash. You're not wrong about that.
True story. Also, he only killed like one real person. The other one was a pedophile.
Yeah. And none of the people that got shot are good people.
No, they were all pieces of shit.
Gross Crotch is also a piece of shit. He had a gun he was not legally allowed to have.
Yeah.
They never talk about that when it's like gun control, do they? They never go, hey, that guy Kyle Rittenhouse shot had an illegal weapon.
Oh, no. Don't be silly, monkey.
All right. This is Nikki Haley at a campaign event.
I love your hat. Thank you. Let a pair of guys give it to me for free.
Boom! Mic drop. The kid should just drop the microphone literally right there. Just done the meme right on the spot.
I fucking love it. Like everything else about Nikki Haley, this moment was manufactured.
Yeah.
But
that was so beautifully done.
I read a National Review article today about, hey, all the people waiting with their money to see who to give it to need to just give it to Nikki Haley now because she's so great. I'm like, they even said this, Jack. Her nuanced take on abortion during the debate was wonderful.
Oh, God. I'm so tired of the press artificially boosting this woman.
Yeah.
She's a fucking rhino at best, a warmonger at worst. But why the fuck are you choosing her? Oh, we all know why. We've discussed it a million times. But I'm so tired of seeing her on, somebody was interviewing Vivek the other day. We talked about it, and they wouldn't shut up about Nikki Haley. Oh, it was Cuomo.
Jack, one second. People are saying they didn't hear. The kid, Nikki Haley says, I like your hat. And the kid says, thank you. One of your guys gave it to me for free. That's what she said.
Yeah. But she's so everything about this is manufactured. She's on Fox News constantly. They talk about her almost exclusively, unless they're comparing somebody to her. They barely ever talk about Vivek, whatever his fucking name is, unless it's something negative.
Yeah.
And even DeSantis gets almost no coverage on Fox. I know, because I have to listen to Fox News sporadically throughout the day at my parents' house. It drives me nuts. They're super old, so they leave it on like one station. And if it's not NCIS, Criminal Minds, Law and Order, or Bones, it's fucking news. And it's not good news. It's the same shit every time. It's some Fox News, and occasionally Dad will hit the button the wrong way, and he'll go to CNN. Not that I'm bitter.
No, you're fine. Here's my honest take on the election so far. If you don't like Trump as your candidate, your best other candidate is Ron DeSantis. I like Vivek much more than I like Ron. I just don't think Vivek has a chance in hell.
Probably not.
And
things would have to get really weird.
Despite all the bullshit about how entrenched in the status quo that Ron has gone against the status quo quite a bit, quite often, quite publicly.
Yeah. And I'm really tired of the disingenuous fighting between the DeSantis group and the Trump group, because you guys need each other. Whether you want to admit it or not, your candidate will not win without the other person's group.
And I get it. It's a primary. So again, attack each other for real shit. But the stuff fuck, man.
Oh, the nitpicking and the pettiness and out of context shit, it's got to stop. You're just costing each other voters. It's childish, and nobody's going to win that way.
And you're getting to a point where I honestly don't know what's going to happen when Trump wins this nomination with everybody else. Are they just going to stay home, or are they going to go vote for Biden?
Yeah. I think Vivek has a much better chance than Nikki Haley does, but oh my God, they got to stop pushing Haley. It is helping her in the polls, but I don't think that they're Republicans answering that question.
I was sitting there today when I was reading that article, trying to think of what her conservative bona fides are. What is it that she is? And now I get it. This was a National Review article, so they like her war take.
Yeah,
they are pretty warmongery over there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But otherwise, what is it?
That's it. She's a warmonger, and she's a straight up rhino. She might as well be a Democrat, honestly. I think she actually goes a little bit beyond rhino into like wolf in sheep's clothing territory.
I've heard her, we got to do something about the border. Okay, yeah, that's just a Republican talking point now. You can't be a Republican and not say that. So,
yeah, but hers are all vague platitudes, not actual policy plans. Like the others actually have ideas.
Ron's like, we're going to shoot people if they try crossing the border. And she's like, we need to stop the border stuff. How?
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think? You know what I mean? She's horrible, and I just don't like her. I don't find her genuine in any way.
No, she's like Hillary Clinton. She reverts to talking points and not specifics about what she wants to do.
After the last 2 debates, we've had to hear her with her girl power bullshit and her victimization. Oh my God, I don't think he likes the women. I don't think he likes them.
He came after me because I'm a woman.
Yeah. So honestly, if you're not going to vote for Trump and you're a Republican, my advice would be to vote for DeSantis. Because Haley, Jesus Christ, man. What, did you just not get enough with Mitt Romney?
Yeah. You know what's sad is that like Krispy Kreme, Christie has more conservative takes than she does.
Yeah.
And fucking even John Fetterman has better takes than she does.
Yep. I would actually agree with you there. And he doesn't even know what he's saying.
No, he's borderline retarded. But he's had some fairly decent stances on a few topics. I'm like, wow, I actually said something kind of smart. Wonder what happened. Oh, yeah, stroke.
He had a stroke. All right. Our
stroke to right to the right wing.
Our final Twitter video is our old friend Harry Sisson. Because we got to watch this retard every now and then, Jack, just to keep tabs on him. Don't you dare sigh.
Oh, we're past it. This guy looks too much like JRC3. For those of you that watch Adonis Paul, you know who I'm talking about. James Robert Clark III. He's got the same chin, and I associate that Punch and Judy chin with really, really dumb people. I don't know why, and psychopaths. So it does work with JRC3 because I think he's both. But this kid, he looks like he could be JRC3's like little brother. It creeps me out.
All right, here we go.
I keep seeing people say that they're not going to vote for Joe Biden because of what's happening in the Middle East or some other issue they disagree with him on. And honestly, fine. Don't vote for Joe Biden. Go sit on the sidelines. Vote for Donald Trump if you want to. That's your right. But do me a favor. When Donald Trump wins and destroys America because all these people decided to sit out, don't complain. All
right, I just got to stop him there. If you're going to sit out or you're going to vote for Trump, when he destroys America, don't complain. I heard these same fucking arguments back in 2016. I heard them in 2020. But 2016 is the relevant one here, Jack, because after 2016, we got to see what Donald Trump actually did. I don't remember the country getting destroyed. Until
you
COVID.
blocked it out.
Until COVID, which we'll put a pin in COVID.
Yeah.
The economy's roaring. The world is actually gaining respect for us instead of just saying, "Oh, we respect you so much when you bend over for us."
We're the net exporter of energy.
We get energy independent. Things were going pretty fucking well until, you guys decided to force Biden on us. But no, this time it's going to be they're right this time. I'm sure about it, Jack.
Oh, maybe this time he'll actually get the Handmaid's Tale instituted.
Yes.
More and more of women's reproductive freedoms are taken away because Donald Trump is insanely pro-life.
Sounds awesome.
Donald Trump is insanely pro-life?
I don't know who this Donald Trump he's talking about is, but okay.
Complain when more and more gun regulations are rolled back and everybody everywhere has an AR-15 in hand. Don't complain.
That sounds awesome.
I don't think Harry wants black people to have guns.
I don't think he does either.
Huh.
Of course, he's probably never met one.
Yeah, he has definitely never met a black person. Yeah.
Oh,
No, that's not. He might have went to a country club at his dad's place and had one, serve him.
Yeah, I bet it sounded a lot like the Blast from the Past Brendan Fraser scene where he's like, "Oh my golly gosh, a Negro."
Yes.
When climate change is not cared about anymore, don't complain.
Are you seriously trying to make me vote for Trump, dude?
Yeah, he is. The world he's talking about sounds kind of awesome.
Yeah.
It's like he's going to destroy America. So far, he's making it better.
People's food benefits are cut because Donald Trump wants to balance that budget and they're starving. Don't complain.
I like how he did the little hand gesture there.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck those freeloaders. How about that? How about no more parasites on the system?
Because he wants to balance. How dare he want a balanced budget?
Yeah. No, we just keep going into debt and printing money and spending it like we can afford it. What universe do you live in, Tard, where anybody you can do stuff like that? That is not a sustainable path for anybody.
Pyra says Harry's living proof that eugenics were onto something.
I don't know I'm allowed to agree with that, so I'm going to stay silent.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can give our opinion on that, so I just read it out in case anybody wanted to hear it.
When immigrants are being rounded up in camps and getting deported in massive numbers, don't complain.
You mean
Sold.
illegals?
Sold right there. Illegal immigrants getting the boot. Yeah, I'm in. And it's not going to be people that did the paperwork and got here legally and got their green card. Shut the fuck up, kid.
Do you remember that in the TYT meltdown? It's probably the most famous place you can find it, but there was a lot of this talk back in 2016 when Donald Trump wins, and people going, "Hey, when your friends and family are rounded up, don't come complaining to us." As though every Latino in America is here illegally. Do these people not understand that there is a big population of America that are immigrants?
Yeah.
Legally.
Yeah. I vaguely remember telling you about the guy I know who thought that all the gays were going to be put in concentration camps.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of mentality, they just eat this shit up. That it's this sort of catastrophic thinking addiction. And a lot of people, especially on the left, are really, really into it.
Bubba says legal immigrants don't like illegal immigrants. Yeah, if Cryptic was here, he'd tell you.
Yeah,
Cryptic
because
fucking hates illegals.
Legal immigrants have a shit ton of paperwork to do to maintain their residency, and they have a lot of standards they have to live with. Illegals just wander in and get free shit. And it's enraging, which reminds me, I have a video I want to show you. But
Cryptic not only legally immigrated himself, he helped his niece and nephew, if I remember correctly, them come over too. And it's not easy. They waited their turn in line. They spent thousands and thousands of dollars, and it takes 10 to 15 years to get that shit done.
Yep.
And you see these fucking little shits come, yeah, we'll just come across the border and hang out for as long as we want.
Yeah.
And then we'll have politicians say, hey, we need to reform the system to help these people who are here illegally.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at all the stuff the Dreamers got. All the free crap that wasn't given to any of the migrants.
Peter says, my parents were immigrants. It's an insult to call illegals that. I agree 100%.
Oh, yeah. That's why we still call them illegals.
Yeah. All right.
Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Of course, Harry has met one of those African Americans. Well, part of one at least, through a hole in the wall while he was on his knees. What happens in glory holes stays in glory holes.
He's not done fear mongering. We got to get a little more fear mongering out of the way.
Yeah.
When Donald Trump reinstates his Muslim ban, which he's been talking about, don't complain.
It wasn't a Muslim ban, and the countries that were picked were from Barack Obama's administration, you little shit.
Yeah, is Barack Obama a Muslim?
No, he was Christian. He was Christian.
Mm-hmm,
He went to a church one time.
When Israel and Palestine gets worse because Donald Trump doesn't care what happens, don't complain.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Under Donald Trump, with his son-in-law spearheading everything, the Jews made peace and trade agreements with a whole bunch of Muslims over there.
Monkey, you forget the left likes chaos in the Middle East, so we could go fight over there for some reason. They love that sandbox.
This was a part. I mean, of all the stupid shit he said, I was just like,
Look at that face.
But
he looks retarded.
I'm pretty sure he is retarded. I think he's actually retarded.
99% sure of that, yeah.
When Trump stays in office for the rest of his life because he doesn't care about democracy, don't complain.
You guys told me that last time.
Yeah, and
Seriously.
he's like super old, so it's not like that'd be a real long time.
You told me in 2016 that he'd never leave. You told me in 2020 he'd never leave. And if memory serves, he left on, what was it? January 20th, 2021, the scheduled time for a new president to take office. He doesn't care about democracy, though.
I'm waiting on, they're still talking about, global warming and shit. I'm still waiting on their prediction on the ice age to come back. So their prediction levels are way off.
Tina says, and this is Harry who? This is Harry Sisson. He is a very popular lefty over on the Tickety Talk.
Yeah.
He's not as popular on Twitter, but he has a decent following over there. And he's a little bit retarded, and we like to make fun of him from time to time.
He looks smelly, too.
This is what's at stake in 2024. We all know it. So if you decide to sit out and not vote for Joe Biden, knowing all of these things, even if you disagree with Joe Biden on a few things, then don't complain when America is destroyed because of Donald Trump and his insane policy. Because it will happen. It will happen. We saw it once, and if Trump wins, we're going to see it again.
Is he still paid shill by the DNC, by the way?
Oh, of course he is, yeah.
That's what I thought.
He just, all of those things he just listed off, right? Abortion and Palestine and what all of that. We've seen it once. He's never going to leave office. He's going to be there till he dies. We've seen that once. When? All that shit you just named. When did we see it, you stupid shit? This is the kind of shit they believe, though. Like, it's going to, all of that shit that happened, like him never leaving office, it's going to happen again. It didn't happen in the first place. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's such an idiot. Real quick. Thank you, Shio. I sleep like a baby at night. Wish I had some titties to suck on.
I don't know if we can watch this video. I mean, we can. I don't know how well it's going to translate.
Yeah, I was
think,
a little worried about that, but because
well, what we can do is show the post because it shows what
Mhm.
he says,
Yeah,
and we'll do it that way. This is in Italy, right? Yeah,
I think so.
this guy complained. This is a freeloading immigrant over there in Italy, and he complains. This is what he says: water's not good, food is not good, hotel is not good. We haven't received any pocket money for 3 months. That's their complaint. They're not getting free pocket money.
Get a job, loser. Why don't you stop being a fucking parasite?
Go home.
Yeah.
And I will throw this one into chat if you guys want to go. The reason we're not watching it is because he speaks in Italian, except for when he says pocket money, which is apparently just pocket money all over the world.
Yeah. The whole thing's enraging.
Yeah.
Talk about ungrateful economic moochers. These people are freeloaders. If you don't give us what we demand, our tithe, then we are going to rape and pillage your communities, because that's the threat there.
Toganix, I'm not sure how to say Talanix. I'm not sure how to say your name. It says, "Go home, make your country better." Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing. And this is why I don't have a lot of most of the immigrants here in the United States that we're getting, the illegal immigrants, they are not here because they are running away from drug lords or any of that shit that you hear. Are some of them? Sure. Is it the majority? No, the majority of them are economic migrants. Get the fuck out. Go make your country better. Thank you, Tyra, who says, can the Democrats please reveal the non-elected officials actually making presidential decisions? I want to know what people are really voting in to run this country. No, they're never going to tell us who's actually running things right now. You know, I saw a Bill Maher clip, and we're not going to watch it because we do need to get on to the Piers Morgan thing. But where Bill Maher is talking to Donna Brazil, and I forget the other person that's on the show, but they're talking about whether or not Biden can be elected. And Bill Maher, he says that he can't because he's perceived as being too old. And he says this, he can do the job. He just can't be perceived to do the job. Like, have you paid attention?
Right.
Because he makes the same argument that we have, Jack. It's not about age. It's about cognitive ability. And if you're going to take that stand, how the fuck can you still defend Biden? The guy literally waves it at ghosts. He cannot even figure out how to get off a stage that he got onto. Jack, I get lost sometimes when I'm driving because I'm horrible with directions and horrible memory of where I've been before and stuff until I've done it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I have never gotten lost on a 20-foot stage.
No, neither have I. Although I'm not ruling out the possibility of it. But
when
hasn't happened yet.
When I'm old and demented, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he tries to talk to, wave at, and shake hands with ghosts.
He got lost at the White House with the big fucking house right over on the side. The Easter Bunny had to help him out.
Look, Harvey's a hard worker. Don't mock him.
Fuck.
He's like, hey, Harvey, you know how I get out of here? Oh, yeah, Mr. President, you go over there. Where's your handler?
Mr. Hughes says, and goes downstairs like monkey. He also goes up the stairs like monkey.
Yeah, I would argue he goes up the stairs worse than you do. Also, did he poop his pants in front of the Pope?
Shit his pants at the Vatican, yeah.
He pooped his pants.
That's just a rumor. Yeah.
Hold up, Francis.
But no, if you're looking at it from the cognitive ability, I don't give a shit how old they are. I really don't. Donald Trump is almost as old as Joe Biden. If he gets reelected, he'll be about the same age Biden was when Biden got elected.
Yeah.
But the difference in their cognitive ability is miles apart.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, Biden's had a couple strokes before, so it's not like he was in the best of health to begin with.
No, that was just a severe stutter incident.
Yeah, sudden onset stutter.
that doesn't
Forgot
show
about
up. His fucking oh god, that pisses me off so much. It's just a stutter. Nobody mentions Biden's stutter. You can look this up until 2015, which is when we start seeing the cognitive decline.
Yeah. And I would like to point out that we were some of the first people talking about his mental faculties
Mm-hmm.
right here on this very show. So you should listen to us. We're smart.
Polly thought we were just being mean. Remember that?
Yeah.
He thought we were just making fun of old people. Like, no, this motherfucker's lost his mind.
Which, generally is a fair assessment.
Sure, yeah.
Because we make fun of everybody. But I was dead serious when I said that.
It's one of the downsides of being us that occasionally we have to go, no, we're being sincere right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Jack, I don't know if you saw, but Andrew Tate went and hung out with Piers Morgan.
I did not see this, actually. This is all news to me.
I haven't watched any of it.
Oh.
No. So this is going to be new to me, too. The only thing I've seen is the before, where Andrew Tate put out a video of his prep to go talk to Piers Morgan, because apparently he has to prep for this shit.
Was he shirtless and all oiled up for that?
No, he had on some kind of shirt. I think he had on his suit, and he's smoking a cigar while he does old man dances to "I'm Still Standing" by Elton John.
That's kind of gay.
I'm not making that up. That is actually real.
Kind of hella gay.
It's very gay, yeah, and it looks that way.
I know he's got a British passport, but dude, that's kind of gay.
I just love that he's doing old man dances because he's supposed to be, this man who runs out to the clubs and gets the bitches. Not with that dancing. Not. I dance like that. I always have, Jack. I've always danced like an old man. Mostly just for the laughs. I can dance, guys. I used to be able to. I doubt I could now. I'd probably fall on my ass.
Yeah, I don't dance.
But I think it's funny to do that. So, if you're doing it for the laugh, cool. But he's being sincere, like trying to pump up his gay little viewers. Like, look how manly I am with my dance. It looks like I'm trying to milk a cow.
Check out my sweet 80s dance right before I do the jitterbug to some Elton John.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And I love me some Elton, and I like the song "I'm Still Standing," but I don't know why you need to get pumped up to go talk to Piers Morgan.
Maybe that's why he was doing the old man dances. He's going to challenge him to a dance off, and Piers is pretty fucking old.
You might be right about that. You might be right. Okay, let's blow this one up and see what happens. This is Piers Morgan versus Andrew Tate in Romania. This is part 1 for some reason, which I don't understand because I did go all the way to the end just to see, like, wait, part 1, well, where does it cut off? And they're shaking each other's hands like they're done with the interview.
He said, well, there's probably a part 2 where it's like the post-interview assessment or some shit.
Oh, maybe.
Why is he wearing sunglasses inside?
Because of the Matrix, man.
Or is his eyes bloodshot from drinking and doing drugs or something?
I don't know if you've seen him without his glasses on, but he looks crazy.
Well, he's got boogly eyes.
I still think he needs to go back to the prison look. Where his male pattern baldness is showing.
I would honestly just recommend he trims the sides of the beard off and keeps the Van Dyke and grow it kind of pointy so he looks more like Anton LaVey. I think that actually worked for him.
You see, you went Anton LaVey. I was thinking Jafar.
Oh, not that long. No.
Oh, okay.
But I would go a little bit more dark and sinister looking, kind of get himself prepped for prison. But that kind of look would work for him. Not the Jafar one, but the Anton LaVey.
I think the Jafar one could too.
I don't think you want to go to jail looking like the bad guy from a cartoon.
Get a little parrot that squawks on his shoulder.
He'd look like a flamboyant pirate then, and that definitely won't go over well in jail.
All right, here we go.
Andrew, it's been...
Okay, that's as loud as it gets. Are we okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's a little quiet, but it'll work.
All right.
Well, nearly a year since we last sat down together. Very different time. It was in my London studio. And 8 days after that.
And now you're not allowed to go to the London studio because you're here and you're not allowed to leave the immediate area. I really hate that little thing he does with his hands, where he's got his thumb and four fingers together in that little diamond shape.
Yeah, that's something that pseudo-intellectuals do to look smart.
I also hate the fact that he wears all skinny clothes. Look how tight this fucking jacket is.
Yeah, it shouldn't look that tight.
It's all short up on his arms. You're rich as fuck, apparently. Go get a tailor, motherfucker.
Yeah. He's trying to show off his muscles. It doesn't really work here.
I
He should
think-
get a tailored suit.
This kind of tight outfit doesn't work on anything but cute women.
Yeah, and even some of them can't pull it off.
Yeah, well, not like I said, cute women.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's plenty of women that look good in different outfits, but I don't know.
Dangerous says he's wearing a body condom. Maybe that's what it is. All right, Mandex. Fuck. All right, so sorry that we're just at the introductions, and I already had to stop because I have to criticize this weirdo.
You got arrested. What's the year been like for you?
It's certainly been an interesting one. I've been constrained this entire year. I spent 93 days in a Romanian dungeon, 5 months locked in my house, and now I'm restrained within the country of Romania. So it's certainly been a turbulent time.
The moment you got arrested,
Now he's been to a dungeon, Jack. It's not just a prison anymore.
Yeah, next week it'll be an oblique. And yeah, I was down there, but I fought my way out because of the Matrix.
So he's in a dungeon, and then he's in his house, which, by the way, it's not like he's living in a hovel. And now he's allowed to roam the city freely. Oh, God, that must be rough.
It's a hard knock life.
It's a hard knock life for us.
For
it
Tate's.
was all pretty dramatic. The video came out, the world saw it. A lot of people smashing into your home. Did you have any inkling, warning that something like this may happen?
I knew it. I kept saying before I was arrested on every single podcast I did, I said, you get 3 lives in the world. The first life, they're going to cancel you. They're going to slander you. They're going to delete your access to social media so you can't defend yourself. The second life, they're going to try and put you in jail for no reason. And if you continue to speak against the power, they're going to assassinate you.
All right, let's stop there. You knew you were going to be arrested because this was an ongoing investigation, and you know what you've done. Let's just be honest.
That. Eventually, it'll catch up with you.
You went to Romania specifically because of their lax laws. You've said this.
Yeah.
And you thought you could just bribe a judge or a cop or something and get your way out of it, and it didn't work out the way you thought it would.
Well, in a lot of European countries, that's true. Probably even parts of Romania. It just so happens they decide to make an example out of you.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And look, do I think he probably could have bought his way out if he wasn't Andrew Tate? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
absolutely. But unfortunately, I think he probably badmouthed the wrong country at the wrong time, and now they're like, "Look, you said we're corrupt. We don't like people knowing that," and then they're gonna fucking come after you.
Here's a hint for you guys. If you're going to be like, let's say you get pulled over and you offer a cop $100 to just let you go, and he lets you go. You don't want to go on TV and then go, "Hey, that guy let me go when I gave him $100."
No, what he should have done is just alluded to the fact that they were corrupt and say, "Well, I think the laws are more favorable here, and I think I fit in better." That sort of thing. Just keep it very nebulous and never get tied down on it. But he's like, "No, I can just bribe people." You're a fucking retard.
Plus, it also helps if the criminal allegations that are being looked into, that you haven't bragged online about doing those very things.
Yeah. Also, it's a really bad idea to tell everybody that you have mob connections. If you have mob connections, the mob doesn't like that generally.
Yeah, you've made a series of mistakes, and
glaringly obvious ones too.
Yeah, you've kind of forced their hand there.
Yeah, because I don't think the mob's going to help you because you rat them out at every turn when you're on a podcast like, oh, yeah, I know these guys from the mob. They gave me money. You're a fucking idiot. You say, I have offshore investors or venture capitalists. You don't start naming the mob.
Yeah, I have friends in waste management.
Yeah, that live in New Jersey or something. Real
Hollywood unions. I know a lot of Hollywood union guys.
Yeah, exactly. V-Brain, thank you, Keldrig. Coincidentally, Andrew Tate and Anton LaVey are both gay edgelords. That's a good point. Good point. Anton LaVey was absolutely a big-time gay edgelord. And thank you, Circus Zero. Remember Tate said he would bang a hot trans woman over an ugly woman. And that doesn't make him gay. It makes him smart. Tate is only slightly straighter than Nick Fuentes. Yeah, because he could grow facial hair.
Yes. All right. And yes, he absolutely did say that you should bang a hot trans woman rather than an ugly woman because that way your friends see you with someone hot.
Yeah, I have a copy of that video.
My sexuality is not based on my friend's view of whether or not the chick I'm with is hot. It's based on the fact that I like vagina and not man ass.
Yeah. Also, there's really no requirement to actually bang somebody if you don't find them attractive. You're not required to plow anyone.
Well, he had done a poll, and
I bet he did.
He was upset because he did a poll asking whether or not people would bang a hot trans woman or a ugly woman. And ugly woman won out because, unlike Andrew, the people who took the poll were straight. and he was upset by that. Like, how dare you put it in a vagina instead of a man with makeup on?
Like, if he came out tomorrow and said he was gay or bisexual, nobody'd fucking care. So I don't know what his like obsession with image is, dude. You already dress like a badly organized Eastern European homosexual anyway.
Can I pass on both? No, Faithless. The idea is you have to answer the question. And I'll be honest with you, I would take the ugliest woman in the world over a pretty trans person every day because I am not interested in men.
Yeah,
I like vagina. That's what it boils down to because I'm straight.
You can always have sex doggy style.
I guess. And Andrew here, look, I don't think he's gay. I think he's bisexual. I really do. And just admit it, man. Anyway.
I knew I was on my second life. I kept saying it. I knew it was coming. I didn't know the bullshit reason they'd use. But
yes, you did. You'd already been stopped for it last year. I didn't know the reason that they'd use. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. This all stems from April of last year.
All right, this is going to bug me. Rodline asked, who was the anti-SJW guy that had all the skulls behind him?
That was fuck. What's his name? The blonde kid. Oh wait, no. Did he have the skulls behind him? Or are you talking about the one who was whining about skulls?
No, not the one that was whining about skulls. There was somebody that had a whole bunch of skulls around him all the time.
That one I don't know because the other one is H Bomber Man.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember there were some people that had a lot of skull motifs, but I can't think of the name. So sorry. Dude.
Yeah, because when they did their questions to anti-SJWs, it was like, "Why do you have all the skulls?"
Yeah, that was largely directed at one specific person, but I can't remember who. But he kind of vaguely looked like Tate.
No, not the SJW because that was H Bomber guy who was asking the question.
The anti-SJW.
Anti-SJW who had all of them. Lots of people have them because actually some of the responses to H Bomber guys showed a whole bunch of their little liberal friends with their skulls around.
Yeah.
But I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember who it is.
Is that the guy who put a banana up his butt? No, that was the Amazing Atheist.
Amazing Atheist. With his anyway.
Found out.
Oh, and I was wrong. That was still April of this year, right? When with the first raid on his house.
I don't remember. I think it was last year.
either way, this was not a surprise to him.
No,
Once I was in
that
a
should have
cell.
been.
When you were arrested, you didn't speak any Romanian at
Zero.
all, and they didn't speak English to you.
Correct.
So you were taken to a cell. You had no idea what they were alleging you'd done.
Yes, he did. Again, this shit comes from months beforehand.
Oh, let me reword what Piers is trying to say. You didn't know what they caught you for.
Yeah, you didn't know the specific charges this time.
Arrested on the 27th of December. So because of Christmas and New Year.
Oh yeah, so it was like this was all last year. So it was April of last year, and then arrested in November, December, whatever it is. So yeah, he knew what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, because he was in
Prison
jail
element.
for like 5 months, something like that. So it had to have been last year.
Yeah, 93 days is what he said. What does that work out to? That's 3 months and a couple of days.
Problems. They couldn't even translate my paperwork for 2 weeks. So for the first 2 weeks I was in a prison cell, I had no idea why. I was given papers in Romanian. I could read human trafficking. I understood, but I was like, human trafficking.
I bet you could. I bet he could definitely tell the words human trafficking. Hey, Andrew, probably not a good idea to tell people that the only Romanian words you understand is human trafficking. So that comes off as though you've done some research, my friend. For fuck's sake. Oh, he's making this too easy for me.
Who, when, what, none of this makes sense. I waited 2 entire weeks inside of my cell before I was given an English translation, and then I realized exactly how ridiculous the whole case was.
And for the record, I do want to say this. That is crappy for him to be locked up for 2 weeks without getting the actual charges said to him.
Yeah, that is bullshit.
That's fucked up. But that you went to Romania, dude, for their justice system, you piece of shit. That's called be careful what you wish for, dickhead.
Yeah, that's one of the dangers of going overseas to countries, even Western ones, where you don't know the laws and you don't know the language. Getting locked up abroad is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Especially for a charge like this. This is serious. It's like smuggling drugs to Myanmar or Malaysia. So you're just probably going to get killed.
Mess says Tate has tears without crying. I did hear that he said that in here somewhere. We'll get to it.
Just to clarify, I am accused of helping my friends get big on TikTok.
I've read the charges, sir. That is not what you are accused of.
Yeah, he likes to go to the TikTok defense.
TikTok
up the clock. Yeah, that is such a sleight of hand move because yes, he's charged with making money online, but not on, or forcing women to make money online, but not on TikTok. It's on OnlyFans and what was the other one? Chatterbait.
I think so, but I don't want to be quoted on that because I don't remember. I know OnlyFans is one of the big ones there that he never mentions. This is why I call this man a fucking coward. Okay. Even if he believes, and especially if he believes he's innocent, why does he keep lying about what the charges actually are?
Yeah.
That is what I'm accused of. I told some girls I know how to post on TikTok to become viral when I was at the time the most viral person on the planet.
That is absolutely 100% not what you were accused of, you fucking idiot. You lying coward. And people defend this shit.
Yep, because they just believe whatever he says.
And they are saying I'm a human trafficker for that reason. It is insane.
Well, we'll come to what you've been accused of. It's more serious than the way you've categorized.
Thank you. Now, this is going to be the difference between when we watched Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson interview this fucking piece of shit. Piers is actually going to bring up the charges. I have no doubt. Again, I have not watched this, but Piers is not going to let him get away with, no, man, just TikTok.
Yeah, and good on Piers because this is more journalistic than what Tucker pulled.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed in Tucker Carlson on that one.
Tucker and Candace, their fucking interviews of this piece of shit were just trash.
Well,
They're
I
just trash.
expect it from Candace because her husband is friends with Andrew Tate.
Yeah, you think? Never mind. I don't want to. All right.
But we'll come to that. There is a lot of speculation that the reason the Romanian authorities knew that you were back, because you were en route, I believe, to Dubai for a New Year's Eve party, is that you were interacting with Greta Thunberg on social media, and you had a pizza in front of you, which came from a well-known Romanian pizza store. Is there any truth to that?
I don't think so. I think that they know where I was.
Yeah, hasn't that been completely debunked, the whole Greta Thunberg pizza thing?
Probably. It's a funny story. It's a fun urban legend, but honestly, they just needed a warrant to get his phone GPS location data, and they could attract him for weeks.
The timing was epic, and I don't like Greta at all, but the timing was epic for that.
Yeah, and she did have a good comeback too.
Yes. So as far as I know, that has been debunked, but yeah, like you said, funny urban legend. So
yeah,
a lot of people knew where I was, and they had instructions from higher up to teach me a lesson. I was on my second life, and that's exactly what I'm going through right now.
I was on my second wife.
Yeah, that was in their filing papers. They're like, look, he's on his second life. We need a warrant so we can teach him a lesson.
This came from the higher ups.
There's an irony to your situation, because you always said the reason you came to Romania was precisely because you thought you could avoid being in this situation.
Piers Morgan pisses me off sometimes, but sometimes he is the best interviewer around, because he will ask questions that are uncomfortable, like that one. Thank you, Susanna, for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yay.
But like that one right there, there's an irony here, because you came here because of the legal system. I haven't seen anybody else ask this fuck about that.
No, because everybody else seems to be woefully unprepared, or they're just cupping his balls to get an interview.
Well, I loved Romania, and it's a strong Christian nation with strong traditional values.
You're a Muslim who went to Romania because it's strongly Christian?
Isn't he a Muslim?
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Something invasion, something.
Yes.
Values. I want a life where I'm left alone by government. I don't believe in big government. I'm trying to avoid that. It felt like Romania was a place which was very
Piers,
safe
have a good
societally, and
follow-up.
the government was not too interested or involved in people's lives, but things change. Also, your freedom and your ability to speak the truth is heavily correlated to your insignificance.
That is not what you said about why you went there, you shithead. You said you found it offensive that you could not bribe American police. He actually used the word offensive.
Yeah.
It's offensive.
Well, he's one of the specials.
Yeah, he's very special. Fuck.
When you become large and people start listening to what you say, you soon realize you no longer have freedom of speech. And it doesn't matter where you are on the planet. If they decide you must be assassinated, you will be assassinated.
No, nobody's going to assassinate you. You are not that powerful, you piece of shit.
Or that important, really. People like him come and go. I mean, how often have we talked about Jack Murphy in the last year?
You in jail. What was that like?
Piers, what a missed opportunity there. You've obviously at least heard about it. He tries to dress that up as, hey, I want to go live in a foreign country where there's less government control. No, you specifically said you wanted to go there so that you could get around the legal system.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keldrig. Hearing Andrew Tate talk about traditional values is hilariously ironic, indeed.
Right. Also, I don't know if I'm looking for freedom, maybe a country that isn't so far, so closely removed from communism.
Yeah.
You know, like, definitely not Romania. It's like going to Belarus for that. That's fucking dumb.
Romanian jail is not English jail.
I mean, describe it. What was the cell like?
I have to be careful what I say because I don't want to insult the Romanian justice system, which I'm still beholden to.
You said you went there because they're corrupt, fucker.
Yeah.
I don't want to insult them. What a dick. You pussy. I don't want to describe the cell. That would be insulting. By the way, did you know they're all fucking corrupt?
And easily bribable.
Alan, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yay.
However, it's exactly as bad as people would expect it to be. Luckily, it was in the winter, so the cockroaches were not too bad. It was also during Ramadan, so I didn't have to eat so much, which was helpful because of the situation. I think the most stressful thing about it is I had no idea how long I was going to be in there for. I was dragged from my house. I was given papers in Romanian. I didn't know why I was there. I found out why I was there, and it was garbage. I couldn't seem to get out. I could have been held for years. It's very stressful. And the best thing you can do is turn to God and train as hard as possible. I did thousands of push-ups a day every
Were
single
you in
day.
solitary?
He did the push-ups, Jack.
Was he turning to God or Allah?
Allah. Which is, it is amazing for him being a Muslim, how often he uses the word God instead of Allah.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to do that because they're technically kind of different.
Hey, look, man, he's a Muslim who went there because they're heavily Christian. I don't know what to tell you. All right. he did push-ups, y'all.
Oh, Rodline cracked it. It was Davis or Rooney, something like that. He worked with Jordan Owen on the Anita Sarkeesian documentary.
Who are we talking about?
The guy with the skulls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who that is.
No, I don't remember.
3 months?
No, I wasn't in solitary the entire time. Sometime I was by myself.
Oh, Comrade Kitty, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate it.
Yay.
With other guys, and sometimes I was with my brother. So
When you were on your own, were they keeping you in there for 24 hours a day? Were you allowed out?
no, I wasn't allowed out. There was no yard time. It was 24 hours a day, locked in a single room, probably 3 or 4 steps large, and you do nothing but stare at the wall. And
How many days did you do that for? On your own?
11, 12.
I mean, that's a pretty grim scenario for anyone.
Life's grim.
For you, always being Mr. Confident.
Yeah, look, I don't have much to say about solitary confinement. I like being alone, Jack. But I also like being able to go see my wife when I want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
forced to be alone. I'm not gonna give him any shit for that because I don't think that would be pleasant at all. So especially if you don't have any idea how long you're going to be in that situation.
Yeah, that'll break the strongest man.
Yeah.
You said interestingly that you wouldn't categorize what you were feeling as depression because you don't believe in the concept of depression. You and I have argued about that before, but it sounds to me from what I've seen you say when you talked about this that was pretty close to depression what you were feeling. Life's
grim. And if you want to be a superhero, you have to understand in every single superhero movie, he is losing for 80% of the movie. He's going to.
Yeah, he called himself a superhero.
Is he describing life like a superhero movie?
Yes. He's also saying that if you want to be a superhero, well, like him.
People take this guy seriously?
Look, if I want laser beams out of my eyes, I can't be sad, okay, monkey? You're going to be losing a lot, and then you get laser beam eyes.
All right, okay.
To suffer for the majority of the movie before he wins at the end. I've always wanted an exceptional life, Piers, and I'm not a coward. And I knew that by telling the truth.
You are a coward. If you weren't a coward, you would admit what the charges are. You would tell your fans, hey, I've been accused of rape.
Dude, he can't even admit to his real win-loss record at the chess tournaments when he was a teenager. You think he's gonna
not Jack, not a teenager, 6 years old.
Whatever.
It was a teen tournament, but he was like 6.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot he's super genius too.
Yeah.
I would like to live in his fantasy world. It sounds magical.
He wants to be Tony Stark, but the closest we have is Elon. That is true. He wants to be Tony Stark, but he's more like the rabbit from the Trix commercials. All right.
about certain issues. I was
Cheap
gonna pay
shot
the
of the
price for.
tricks rabbit.
So I
Fair enough.
won't say that I deserve to be in jail, but I certainly put myself in there by telling the truth to the populace and telling the truth and living.
But when you're on your own,
You were in jail because you told the truth to the populace.
No, I actually agree with him on this because if he had kept his fucking mouth shut, he probably could have got away with this a lot longer.
I mean, he did actually admit to all of those crimes on different
Yep.
streams. So I guess, yeah. That's you're right. That's a fair enough statement. It's not the truth that he's talking about here.
Potato,
you
potato.
You know, the women are bitches shit is not why you're in jail.
in that cell, what were you thinking?
Well, to be fair, some of those bitches sold him out.
That's true, bitches. Bitch, set me up. I need to get the real clip of that so I can have it on the soundboard.
We definitely need to get a soundboard going here. We've got
Bitch,
some
set
great
me up.
audio.
All right.
A long time to self-reflect, right?
It certainly is. And I think my number one concern when I was in jail, despite the fact that my situation was dire, were my concerns as a man and all the people I have to take care of and my children and my family and the people I pay for and all the people who work for me. And truthfully, I wasn't worried about myself. I was worried about everybody else. And I think that's the true masculine frame.
Do you believe that he was worried about everybody else?
No, I think like a real man, he was worried about his cornhole.
Yeah. This is the first time you've mentioned being worried about everybody else. Everything else you've said is you being worried. I didn't know how long I was going to be in there. You didn't say I didn't know how long I was going to be in there, and that meant that I couldn't provide for my family.
Well, he's already working the family angle. You know, probably just like a publicity stunt because I mean, he talk about family values, and Christian morals, and all that shit.
Keep It Am says this guy has kids. Yeah, I don't know how many. Him and his brother both have children. There's actually some pretty famous videos of Tristan, which is his brother, Tristan Tate, talking about how he kicked the mother of his child out of her house.
Yeah. Pretty shitty.
Emotional? Did you shed tears in your cell?
I'm an emotional man. I think men are hyper emotional. We just have to control it. I was extremely busy inside of my jail cell. I had lots of push-ups to do. I was very concerned about the people on the outside. I was trying my best to get out. It's difficult for me to answer the question because it was an interesting frame of mind. I knew that God was watching and I had to perform. It's very difficult for me to go through life saying, I'm the top G, I'm this, I'm that, and speak about mental resilience and mental toughness. And then the second I'm thrown inside of a solitary confinement cell, cower out. I'm not that person.
Bitch, you cower out about questions about why you're even in trouble. I wouldn't cower out when they threw me into solitary confinement. It's only when you ask me questions about easily verifiable information that I cower out.
Well, if you were top G, you'd be able to handle this better, Monkey.
I'm top F, man. I'm top Frank.
Top Frank.
Top Frank. Top F, y'all. And F comes before G, which makes me better.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced he's top. You know what
I'm convinced he's not top. That's bottom G right there.
Oh my God, we're gonna get in trouble for this one.
People who talk about mental toughness and want to give advice, and when bad things happen to them, they end up addicted to prescription drugs. I'm not a coward and I'm not a liar.
No, but it would be.
Did he really just say that?
Yes.
I'm not a coward and I'm not a liar. Sir, we are 6 minutes into this and you've already lied.
Yeah, look, I got a cousin like this, and I think he really believes his own bullshit.
Okay.
Perfectly natural to be emotional.
No, I don't think he believes his own bullshit. We're going to go back because I think we're coming up to the part everybody had so much fun with. I think Andrew, whatever you think about Andrew, he is really good at marketing.
Oh yeah, he's really good at it.
And that's what this is. This is him marketing this bullshit to his fans. He knows the truth. He knows he's a fucking dirty piece of shit. He knows he's admitted everything he's charged with on air, except for the rape. I don't think that one's actually been admitted to. But everything else he's admitted to. And it's like, no, you're taking me out of context. No, we're taking you at your word, dickhead. Which, granted, you are a liar, so I don't know.
I'm not a coward and I'm not a liar.
Yes, you are.
No, but it would be perfectly natural to be emotional in that scenario, and there's no shame in admitting that.
I was emotional. I missed people. I missed them, and I knew they missed me. So I felt a strong sense of missing.
But you cried.
There were tears that ran down my face, but I did not cry.
Yep, he just said that. After saying he's not a liar, there were tears that ran down my face, but I didn't cry.
What does that mean? Is he the Indian from those old littering commercials?
No, man, there was just so much dust in there. His eyes got all watery, and it ran down.
That's fucking retarded.
You cried, dude. You cried.
Just say you cried. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
You were in solitary confinement in a country that is not exactly known for treating prisoners really well.
Yeah, you're in effectively a third world prison. You're allowed to cry, dude. You can have yourself a good cry.
We've talked about men crying before, and this would be one where it's okay, where nobody's going to judge you. You were in solitary confinement.
Yeah, you're worried about your cornhole in fucking third world prison, dude.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that didn't see the movie about that? What was that, Midnight Express?
Yeah. That was a Turkish prison, right?
Yeah. He got raped right before he even got in the jail. One of the guards raped him.
The top G here is such a bitch. He can't admit he cried. It's okay for a man to admit he cried sometimes, because there are times where it's acceptable. I've told you guys when I've cried before. You are ashamed, and as a man, you're being yes, he's a coward. Keep it in. You're right. This is him being cowardly and lying. He just said less than a minute ago, "I'm not a coward or a liar." And Piers is like, "No," and then he says, "No, there were tears running down, but I didn't cry." That's crying, motherfucker.
No, that was his eyes purging the fear out of his system and to fight the Matrix.
Fucking piece of shit.
You're definitely going to lose more subscribers out of this.
Probably, but fuck this guy.
I mean, that's crying.
I would disagree.
Because you're worried about admitting that. You think it sounds
Absolutely
weak.
not. That's a perfectly fine scenario to cry in, but I think the act of crying is an act of desperation. To sit and to cry is an act in and of itself. To do push-ups, thinking of your children with tears running down your face, but you're concerned with finishing as many push-ups as possible within that day, I do not consider that crying. I consider.
Well, there it is, guys. If you're ever crying, just go down and do push-ups, and you'll stop crying. Even with snot bubbles still coming out of your nose, that's not crying anymore. That's push-ups.
No, if the tears are coming out, and you're doing push-ups, it's not crying. But if you have snot, then that's part of the act of crying and self-pity, I think.
You fucking coward. God damn. And the worst part of it is, even he just said, it's okay to cry in that situation. Nah, but I didn't do that, man. I did push-ups. You are such a bitch.
When you found out what they were alleging you'd done, sexual assault, exploitation, and so on, what did you feel about that? What was your first reaction?
My first reaction was, the standard playbook. The standard playbook for anybody who speaks up against power is sex.
That's standard playbook?
Is that the standard playbook?
I don't know about that.
I would say, charges of racism and anti-Semitism are the standard playbook to go after people who are too powerful. That's what they're doing to Elon right now, right?
Yeah, or anti-Semitism or some sort of ism or phobia.
I mean, it's not unusual for that to be a charge against some powerful people, and sometimes it's true, Andrew.
The standard playbook. The standard playbook for anybody who speaks up against power is sexual exploitation. Isn't that the normal one they go to?
What power does Andrew Tate speak up against?
The Matrix, duh.
The Matrix. Yes, I forgot. The Matrix.
Yeah, he's like Neo
You know-
and shit.
Can I just say that The Matrix is becoming like Harry Potter for me, where I'm just like, would you people find another fucking movie to watch?
Yeah. Seriously, go with Dark City. It was way better.
We have red pills and blue pills and black pills, which weren't even in the fucking movie. You have The Matrix, all the there's other things you can compare shit to. Seriously. There's other good
Whatever.
entertainment.
You don't
out
know.
there. I do, because I watch some movies.
What? No. Well, let's put it this way, Monkey. If we get rid of the red pill, blue pill thing from the Matrix, then we're stuck with the Sorting Hat because those are the only movie franchises people have seen.
And then we're at Gryffindor versus Slytherin, and then the other two nobody cares about, Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff.
Some sort of ism like autism. Yes.
Can't we name like 10 or 15 people right now they hit with this exact same garbage? Name a full-grown.
Okay, I just do want to go on record here. I don't know anybody else being hit with the exact same garbage that you're being hit with.
Maybe Epstein.
That doesn't even fit, because Epstein wasn't accused of forcing girls to commit sexual acts on camera for people.
Oh yeah, he was secretly recording.
Man who's 36 or 37 years old who's not had sexual relations with a woman at some point in the past. And the way the Matrix works is they lie by omission, right? They just hit Russell Brand with it. I think they hit P. Diddy with it this morning. Julian Assange just got hit with it. He's still in his cell.
But lots of people get hit with these allegations. And
Wait, did they hit Julian Assange with it again?
No, he's talking about the first time, the rape charge.
But he said they just hit Julian Assange.
No, they hit P. Diddy.
No, listen.
Morning. Julian Assange just got hit with it. He's still in his cell.
but lots
He said Julian Assange just got hit with it. And I'm asking because I honestly don't know. Did somebody like reinstate those fucking charges?
No, I don't think so.
Huh. The P. Diddy stuff, I don't know enough about it to talk about. The Russell Brand one does sound like fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
But that's not what you're charged with, Andrew. I don't know any of those people who were accused of taking somebody's passport so they couldn't leave.
I think he just assumes that's what people do.
And none of those people are on stream anywhere admitting to their crime.
No, they're better criminals than that, apparently.
of people get hit with these allegations and it turns out to be true.
A lot of people get hit with them and they turn out to be false.
Yeah, but you're sort of trying to make out all the people you just named innocent. You don't know that.
Of course I don't know that, but a lot of people get hit and it
But
turns
why
out to
would
be
you
false.
why would you assume they're innocent?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because the way the Matrix operates is it chooses something which is heinous. If they accuse me of drug dealing, nobody would care. They choose something which is heinous, so the process itself is a punishment. So they damage your reputation throughout the process, regardless of whether it's successful or not. Then what they do is they lie by omission. They throw you in a cell and they contact everyone you've ever interacted with.
Is the guy who told us that he's going to jail for helping women get better at TikTok, whining about people
1,000
lying?
people I know
What
were
shit?
called, and they were looking.
Lying by omission?
Yes.
All right. I just want to make sure I was on the right page here.
Yeah. You're good. You're good.
All right, okay.
This might be a good time to remind everybody we're brought to you by you. If you're enjoying the show, please hit the like button, share it on your social media, subscribe if you haven't. And if you hate us, share it on your social media anyway. And if you're feeling generous, you can toss us a couple bucks at the Streamlabs link, go through the chat, and pinned at the top of the YouTube chat and in the description of both channels. Or you can become a member on YouTube. Also, we have Teespring stores as well, and there are multiple ways to support us in the description.
Couple of things in chat. Keldrick says drug dealing is pretty heinous. Well, this is one of the things where Andrew says when he was talking with Candace, he says he never dealt drugs. There's video of him saying that he used to deal drugs. He brings that up so hey, say I never did that. You admitted to doing it. Stargazer asks, real quick, if he's in the Matrix. No, he's fighting against the Matrix. He's outside of it. He took the right pill. Go ahead, Jack.
To quote a very intelligent man, he's what was the exact wording? He's breaking the conditioning.
Breaking the conditioning, yes.
No, see, I think I've got this figured out. See, the drug dealing that he talked about previously, that was in his first life.
Oh, right.
See, now he's on his second life, which gives you a blank slate. So he's not guilty of those other things that people are saying because that was in his first life. He's been reincarnated, rejuvenated, reborn. So all of that must be wiped away. This Andrew Tate is not that Andrew Tate. This is Andrew Tate, the individual, not Andrew Tate, the person.
Yeah, and just to take the Russell Brand example, like one of the things that they like to talk about, he had sex with a 16-year-old, which to me sounds fucking disgusting. It really does. But they never mention that it's in England and the age of consent there is 16.
Look, your hate facts, they have no place here.
So, yeah, they're people that they try to tear down. Andrew, you came out and accused one of your accusers of being a lying bitch who had accused, 7 other people of this exact same thing.
Yeah, that was a lie.
It was an absolute lie. And your suit, because he sued her over that in American court, and he got thrown out. You think he's going to talk about that? The Matrix probably did that.
Yeah, that was clearly the Matrix. The Matrix is a crafty bitch, man.
The Matrix looked at the facts and screwed him over with the facts. Anyway.
Looking for one person to say they're a victim. By the way, they failed. They did not even find one. But if they did, they would then say, Andrew Tate's victim.
If they didn't find one person who was a victim, why did you sue somebody who is part of this who claims to be a victim? I'm lost. This guy, he just lies.
A lot of it is like lies of omission or half truths, and that's the worst part. Is he's very devious about how he crafts the narrative.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're somebody out there that looks to, if you are somebody who looks to Andrew Tate as your example of what a man is, look somewhere else, because a man doesn't lie like this. A man will own up to what he did.
Well, real man.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. What's that?
I said a real man would.
Yes, a real man would. Evolved Potato, thank you. I mean, Monkey, you've had sex with a 16-year-old. The context being you were also 16 at the time. True. Did I have sex with a 16-year-old? I think so.
You're asking me? I wasn't there. I don't know.
No, I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure Lady Monkey was still 16. Dragon Mage, thank you. I hate when illegals are conflated with immigrants. Also, have you seen the illegal immigrants protesting being moved from 4-star hotels to government housing facilities in New York? No, I did not see that, but I'm not shocked.
Yeah, a lot of the hotels are kind of getting fed up. Places getting trashed. So they're moving some out. The Roosevelt Hotel might end up kicking people out, but that they made a big pile of money off of that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
He's a sexual assaulter, and they would remove the testimony of the 1,999 people who said, I'm a very nice man. Lie by omission, and then they put together this entire package, used the mainstream media to convince the world that you deserve to be in jail, and that is how the Matrix operates.
I mean, to be clear,
The Matrix is pretty fucked up, man.
Well, it's a sneaky beast full of robots and computer programs. So
I don't know if you're guilty or not.
I do.
You're perfectly entitled to say that, and you know, right?
Of course I know.
But I don't know, and I will await any trial that comes.
I'm just going by his own words. He's guilty as shit. Thank you, Snubber. Wayne Brady was in the news in a physical altercation. Dave Chappelle predicted, is Wayne Brady going to have to choke a bitch?
that's true.
Did Wayne Brady get into an altercation?
That would not surprise me. And I hope it's accurate. I hope he did choke a bitch. Because it would be funny. Not because I want anyone to get hurt.
to see what comes out in the trial and see what happens, right? So I'm not going to prejudge the trial. I'm not going to judge you and say, I think you're guilty. I don't know, right? We are where we are. You've been charged with.
Could one of these people, just one of these people who interview him, actually watch all of the stuff that shows this man admitting to all of it? Just one. And you can still say, hey, I don't know if you're going to be found guilty at trial, but you've admitted to all this shit.
This does not make you look good.
Candace Owens played that one tiny little clip instead of playing all of the other times this man is like, yeah, this is what we did. This is how we did it. We took their money. We took their money and told them that we needed it for taxes. He's actually admitted to defrauding these women that he was, helping just get better at TikTok.
My only suspicion is that there's somebody off camera that's really big and scary eyeballing the host. So
Maybe
he's got some goon squad there. Like, you better give him the benefit of the doubt.
His crimes, and it's likely you'll face a trial, and we'll see how that all plays out. Obviously, going back to jail, how are you treated by other people?
Everybody in jail was extremely apologetic to me. All of the staff, the police officers, everyone who worked in the jail, the person who served me my meal, everybody was very sorry for what happened to me. They made it.
I'm pretty sure they were like, you'll be sorry.
let me ask you something, Andrew. You told us a little while ago that it took 2 weeks to get an interpreter in there so that you could even be told what the charges were. How do you know these people were being apologetic to you?
Yeah, because he said he could speak it, right?
Yeah,
So
the only thing he understood was sex trafficking. How do you know they were being apologetic? Maybe they had big droopy eyes with no tears that were running down their face as they did push-ups.
Maybe they all spoke English for some reason.
His testimony is so inconsistent. This man is a fucking liar. All right.
They're very clear they knew it was garbage, and they were apologetic. That was the only vibe I could give you. They were kind of like, listen, you got too big. I'm sorry. This is how things work. And sorry, here's your meal. Nobody had any real problem with me. None of the prisoners had a problem with me.
Did you get into any fight?
How the fuck do you know? You didn't speak the language. You just told us.
You keep trying to insert logic here, and I don't think that's going to take.
For fuck's sake, how the fuck did you know this? Maybe it was all English speakers in the jail who'd been caught up in the Matrix because they spoke against power.
That's where they put the renditions.
Oh, gotcha.
They're all in this sketchy Romanian prison.
Mr. Hughes said they did press-ups with him. They did push-ups in solidarity with his bitch ass. Okay.
A couple scenarios where violence could have occurred, but I think once people realize that violence is a certainty and that you do not operate under a fearful realm, they often aren't so interested.
So people threatened you?
I wouldn't say they threatened me, but they would have liked to have got the opportunity to threaten me.
And what happened?
And they realized that would have been a bad decision.
Yeah, I'm sure a bunch of prisoners in Romania were like, oh my God, he's a kickboxing champion.
Well, look, I don't rule out the fact that he is a pretty tough dude. Like, he was a kickboxer. He's in good shape. He could do some damage, but I don't know how scared a bunch of Romanian prisoners are going to be of you.
He could do some damage in a one-on-one fight. 6 pissed off Romanian prisoners. I don't think you could take him, Andrew. I don't think they'd be like, oh my God, he's got man titties.
Yeah, because they're going to fight dirty, dude. And you're going to have a bunch of people like Chechen drug traffickers that will gut you for fun in there.
Oh my God, he's got tattoos. He must be hard.
He's been breaking the conditioning.
Mr. Hughes says, bet nobody knew who he was. Yeah, he was just another fucking prisoner who couldn't even communicate with him.
Yeah.
And all in all...
Well, what did you say to them? Because you don't speak Romanian.
I know what he said. He said, oh.
I didn't. You're right. I actually used a quote from Street Fighter.
He
Did he?
he
quote the
scared
movie
off the
Street?
Romanian prisoners with a quote from Street Fighter.
The movie?
I don't know if he's talking the movie or the game. We'll have to find out here in a second.
Oh
but
God, I hope it's the movie.
I'm just stuck at that. They don't speak English. Why would that fucking matter? All right.
I said, I quoted Dowson, and I said,
Thank you, Keldrick. Oh, he could take them all right, just not in a fight. Oh, I have no doubt he took several of them. Thank you, Keldrick. All right. I really want to hear the quote that he said in English that scared off all these Romanian prisoners.
Where he quoted an
Said,
Indian character?
I quoted Dowson, and I said, they do not understand the secrets of yoga fire, because I knew they had no idea what I was talking about. It was near.
They don't understand the secret of yoga fire. Is that what he said?
Yep, Yoga Flame.
And then he said, because I knew they didn't know what I was talking about.
Uh-huh. That makes no goddamn sense at all.
And that scared him off. You are a manly man.
This dude makes
Who
no
believes-
sense.
Who believes this shit? If you're above the age of 12 and you're listening to this guy going, he makes so much sense, you really need to get a guardian. Go find Britney Spears' dad and ask him if he can help you out.
I'm telling you, that dude needs work.
Near the washing machines, and they looked at me like I was completely crazy, and they walked away.
There's more than one person.
Correct.
And they made it clear that they wanted to.
I have to be careful what I say because I'm still beholden to the Romanian judicial system.
Yeah, but that's just an incident in jail. That's
correct.
nothing to do with the system.
An incident report was written, and it's better I don't mention it.
It was a direct threat.
All right. So there's an incident report in a Romanian prison where Andrew Tate was threatened in a washroom where all the washing machines were, and he said some yogi flame shit, and that's written in a report somewhere.
I imagine it went something more like there was some sort of weird nonsense going on, and we went to check it out and determined that there may have been some sort of glory hole constructed.
Yeah, we found some anal bleeding. That's what happened. Oh, Andrew, fuck, man.
I've had threats, yeah, and I have threats every single day of my life, and I think jail.
How did you know you had threats? You can't speak the language.
I imagine you could tell by somebody shouting and pointing at you.
Have you ever seen a Mexican?
Try not to make contact with people.
They will. It might sound like they're being mad, and they might just be asking you where the library is.
Well, that's why I know the word biblioteca.
Fuck.
Jail is a hyper pressurized version of reality, and you need to have an extremely strong mind so you don't attack yourself, and an extremely strong body so others don't attack you. And I understood that there was a threat of violence at all times, and I just decided to go through life extremely respectfully, but make it clear if that's a decision somebody else wants to make, that I'm prepared to partake.
One of the things I would think about,
What a
other
bitch.
than my family, immediate family, but one particular member of my family, I've
Why is he so focused on his time in prison?
I don't know.
found myself in jail, would be my mother and what she would be feeling and what she'd be thinking. She's been incredibly supportive to me. I know yours has to you. Did you think about your mother?
I was extremely concerned for her. I was concerned because the media establishment were hounding her. She was obviously very worried, but she knew she raised strong sons. But we're her number one protectors, and I was concerned for her. I wasn't concerned for myself in jail. I didn't even suffer in jail as much as I did when I got out. I didn't have nightmares in jail. I had nightmares once I left jail. I was in the.
Is it manly to admit you had nightmares about jail?
I don't know.
I
mean, that sounds like he was crying.
Andrew, that sounds like your mental toughness is kind of there's a chink in the armor there, my friend. You
Oh,
pussy.
hey, so need to blame it Cryptic for it.
That that doesn't sound like you got the mental toughness.
middle of a battle. I don't think you get PTSD while you're fighting. You get it afterwards. I was in the middle of a battle trying to make sure that.
Wait, he doesn't believe in depression, but he believes in PTSD?
Yep.
Okay. I'll roll with that, whatever.
Comrade Kitty, thank you for becoming a member. It says, because he had the time of his life, proceeds to jump into Patrick Swayze's arms. I had the time of my life.
That everybody I love and care about is taken care of, and trying to make sure that bills are paid. Please understand, the day I was arrested, which is a year ago, every single bank account that I have was frozen. All of my assets were taken. I haven't had a dollar of money.
You had 10
since
cars
January.
taken, I think.
15.
15 cars and how many properties?
15 cars, 6 properties.
15 cars that weren't yours. That you had leased out so you could make your little videos to make 12-year-olds be like, I want to be like Andrew. Same way you pay for your bitches.
These 20 diamond watches, gold bars, cash, land, every single bank account, millions and millions and
What was
millions
the
of
total
dollars.
value of everything they seized?
16, 17 million.
Pounds?
Yeah. And they took all of it. And I still don't have access to any of these things.
I mean, as we're doing this interview, you're expecting.
How you paying for your house, homie?
He had to recruit some extra women.
He's got no money. None. Still living large, though. All right.
Expecting to hear sometime today as to whether you may get those possessions back. Is it all or nothing? Do you get it all back or nothing?
Oh, does anybody know? Did he get his shit back?
I doubt it.
Correct. As we sit here, the judge is deciding whether I get all of my items returned or I get none of them returned. And truthfully, under the law, I should have never had them taken in the first place. So we're going to see what the judge decides. And I have to put my faith within the Romanian judicial system. I have no other choice. I'm not a coward. I'm not going to run. But let's not talk about the Romanian judicial system. Let's talk about the judicial systems of the world. I've recently seen some very scary decisions in America and England, in these Western democratic nations. You see people doing 20 years for attending peaceful protests. So you start to sit and wonder when you're in these situations, what is a trial? What is a judge? What is this? These are just people in a room.
Which peaceful
Is
protest?
he just talk about the J6 people?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
J6 people are just like him. They're caught up in the matrix.
Well, I mean, one group was framed. I don't know about him.
What's you talking about?
There's been a few. And
Who's got 20 years for attending a peaceful protest?
I don't want to say names. I saw it somewhere on Twitter. Somebody attended, I think it was a protest, a pro-Trump protest, and they ended up getting 20 years.
Well, if you're talking about the January 6th riots, they were riots where people died.
Well, it's interesting.
They're not peaceful protests.
No,
Well, it's
Piers. Yes, people died, but who died?
We don't talk about that.
And nobody was found guilty of any deaths, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, they promoted that cop.
Nobody was found guilty of any kind of, all of it was sedition. And the guy who got 20 years wasn't even fucking there. Go ahead, dude.
Thank you, Tyrai. To the specialist of all things weird, isn't there a whole religion that was built around living in the Matrix? Around us living in the Matrix? Yes. There's actually a few cults that were into that.
I'm not shocked. Matt asked what does he think about Israel? From what I saw, he does talk about it. Because I did see people say things that were said in here, but I don't know. Being that he's a Muslim, I'm sure he's going to talk about how bad the Palestinians were treated.
Something genocide.
Yeah.
Is actually very nuanced. And what I tried.
But that wasn't nuanced. That was a huge mob of
what
people
I tried to do
attacking the U.S. Capitol.
Well, what I tried to do is I try to look at a broad spectrum of events, and I try to put things into a nuanced view, and I don't try and take a
nuanced view. That's a good way of describing lying.
Well, it's true from a certain point of view. His
black or white point of view on things. And the fact that BLM were rioting and destroying the entire nation for months and during that exact week And then some other people got together with an opposing political view and are facing serious prison time for doing less damage than BLM did. I find that kind of scary because
Well, people did die.
And I'm actually with him on that.
Yeah.
Slightly offensive. Thank you so much. He says, dude, keep it up. I appreciate it. And I'll do my best.
Yeah, remember we are pissing some of our fans off with this because they do like Andrew Tate. But I'm sorry, we just got tell how we see it, and that's not always going to be what people want to hear from us.
Evolve said people died in the BLM riots. That's true. That is true. And Piers is going to piss me off here because he just said it again. But people died there. The people who died there were the rioters. And let's see, we had Ashley Babbitt who got shot. We had the chunky girl who had a heart attack, possibly drug related. And I think there was a third person. I've heard anywhere from 3 to 5 people died that day. But here's the thing. Not one of them was on the government side of shit. Not one.
No. Sicknick died 2 days later, wasn't it? Of a stroke.
Next day.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that number has been inflated by the J6 committee and Nancy Pelosi mostly, and the media just runs with their talking points.
Yeah, they tell us it's either 5 or 6 police officers died who were there at January 6th. They tried desperately to prove Sicknick died because of January 6th and couldn't.
Yep.
And
Same
the other
ones,
the other ones are all suicides. And not one of those people left any kind of message like, by the way, January 6th is why I did this.
It was Trump. He told me to. No, nothing like that.
Wandering the halls in no danger was just too much for me. Oh,
the cops were littering too. The J6ers were cleaning that up. Maybe that really drove them over the edge or something.
Slightly offensive says, I'd like Andrew Tate, but I like hearing people be honest. I understand the appeal of Andrew Tate. I do. But the further we get down the Andrew Tate timeline, the worse of a piece of shit he's showing himself to be.
Yeah. That doesn't mean we disagree with everything he's saying.
Nope.
Because he does say some pretty good stuff occasionally. It's just that he doesn't seem to be a very upfront, stand-up kind of guy.
It's the other shit. I can agree with somebody who's a complete fucking retard. I did agree with Ed Krasenstein today over Kyle Rittenhouse not actually being a hero.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean Ed Krasenstein is somebody you should ever fucking listen to. Because that guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah. He's kind of a tart.
I'm sorry. Krasenstein.
Whatever. Frankenstein.
I knew you were going to go there. Here we go. That's a joke from a movie I don't even really like.
I know. That's why it works.
We should all be the same under the law.
Banju, just to be clear, on January the 6th, people died.
People died during BLM.
I mean, there are certainly inconsistencies in the way groups of people have been policed. I think that's the same. That's the same whether you're talking about the BLM marches.
Yeah, British guy telling us all about the U.S. justice system. That's believable.
Pro-Palestinian marches and so on, right? There's a lot of inconsistency.
Well, then we agree.
There's a lot of inconsistency in global policing. I think that's a perfectly.
And that's something here in America too that has to be taken into account. We've talked about that before. Like something will happen in Maryland, and the way that the justice system works isn't the same as if that exact same thing happened in Texas. We do have different justice systems, especially if you start going worldwide. And it does need to be taken into account. Like why weren't the BLM people treated the way that the January 6th rioters are? Well, the only real comparison there is the other riots that happened in DC. And those ones show exactly the same thing, that those guys were let off with nothing. They set the fucking guardhouse of the White House on fire and burned a church. And then they're like, can you believe they used some gas to get these assholes out of here? They weren't arrested, and these guys didn't go to jail for the rest of their lives for an insurrection.
They deduct the cost of the guard check from their reparations check.
Pretty sure works. You can't really compare what happened with on January 6th with, like, say, the riots in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Because there are different laws. You know what I mean? You have different people in charge of it. You can point and go, yeah, look, these are fucked up because of the different comparisons. But the real comparison there is just what happened in DC. Just saying. It doesn't mean you can't point it out. It's just that there are different laws and different people in charge. Like we just saw a woman who had several serious charges against her. A judge threw them all out there in Portland.
Yeah.
And that piece of shit DA, Schmidt, he just dropped all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so she gets to walk. Now, that same person down in Texas probably wouldn't get a walk with what she had.
No, I don't think so.
So when we talk about the two-tiered system of justice, we do have to sometimes realize that is location-based too. That's all I'm getting at. Well,
we're a big country, and a lot of the people that are bitching and moaning that are British live in a tiny country where everything's uniform.
Yeah, aren't they like smaller than Texas size-wise?
Oh yeah, they're about the size of Ohio.
Yeah.
Valid thing to say, but the idea that someone's got 20 years of being in a peaceful march is not true.
It's not true because he wasn't in the peaceful march. He wasn't even there. He was barred from DC for the day. He got arrested for taking down a BLM flag. And the judge barred him from going to DC on January 6th. Anyway.
The ones who've got the lengthy prison sentences have been held accountable for
I'm not even,
serious crime.
No, sir. The ones who got the lengthy prison sentences, like the Oath Keepers, they had guns back at a hotel and talked about how they could bring them up if they needed. How many of those guns were brought up?
None.
Not a single fucking one.
But they had guns. Guns are evil, Monkey. Remember, he's a big anti-gun nut.
They talked big shit when they were before it, and then when the day came, they were like, nah, never mind.
Even condoning January 6th. I don't even know the ins and outs of January 6th. I wasn't there. I'm not saying it should have happened. What I'm saying is exactly what you have said. There seems to be some massive inconsistencies in global policing now. So when you end up in a position where you're speaking against the system, as I do, and you understand that there are massive inconsistencies in policing globally, you start to sit down and seriously wonder if you stand a fair chance of a fair trial.
And that is a fair question. It really is.
Oh, absolutely.
But once again, Andrew, all they have to do is play all the videos. There's compilations. They can just play, what's that crayon guy's name? Yellow Crayon?
Murder, something murders in the title.
Murder by Crayon, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Murder by Crayon. Just play his compilation videos in front of a fucking jury, and you're going away for life.
See, the real lesson here is if you're going to do something criminal, don't do it on the internet.
Yeah. Stop recording your crimes, dumbass.
Yeah. Stop narking on yourself, you blabbermouths.
In the case of J6, a lot of the evidence that could have been used for these guys, and we saw it with the shaman, wasn't allowed in court. It was kept from them.
Yeah.
Your shit is on the internet, dumbass.
Any country on earth. I actually have to give massive credit to the Romanian judicial system because a judge one day sat down and said, why are these boys in jail, and let us go. I don't know if I would have had a fair shot like that in many other nations.
That's true.
When you were released from jail after about 3 months, what was that feeling like?
Just good old boys.
My brother and I were
never meaning no harm, just trying to break the matrix at every turn. Sorry, I couldn't really make that rhyme.
in the same cell at that time. We were extremely happy. I remember using the last of my mouthwash. During the day, I had some rituals to keep me sane.
He had to clean out that salty taste.
Gross.
And I didn't.
The salty taste he picked up in the laundry room.
Enjoy one swig of.
Am I lying?
I don't know. Thankfully, it wasn't there, and I hope it's not on film.
Mouthwash a day. It's amazing how bored you get when you're staring at cockroaches, and even that sensation.
So there were literally cockroaches in your cell?
Correct.
How many at any given time?
At night, there was a lot.
Like what, dozens or?
Yeah, a few. There was an infestation. We did our best to kill as many as we could. It kept us entertained, but they're annoying to sleep with. But mouthwash was something I enjoyed every day. The sensation of mouthwash made me happy, and I remember using all of my mouthwash. And then instantly my brain started turning.
Dude, it was the blue mouthwash.
That's just a weird thing to say. I enjoyed the sensation of mouthwash. Dude, phrasing. Like, he's smarter than this.
Again, this is for his fans. This is for people who are still on board with him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's got a $100 comic book to sell, so
Yeah.
I need to do. I'm a man. I have responsibilities. For 93 days, I wasn't working. I started concerning myself with, okay, I'm about to get out of jail. Thank God. I'm going to leave. Who do I need to take care of? What's paid? Do I have any money left? Are bills due? Is mom okay? Are my children okay? And I just started thinking about work. And as soon as I got out, I didn't sleep for 3 days.
How many children do you have?
I'm less confidential.
Why?
Because I have enemies. And unfortunately, I do not want to give them any information.
But you have more than one.
I have more than one, correct.
Right. So obviously you're careful.
Let's say he has enemies who are looking for his kids, right? Do you think they wouldn't be able to find out how many you have? He's not asking you for their names and locations. He just asked you how many you had. And he's like, oh, I got enemies.
yeah, I kind of get it on this one though, because he probably does have some enemies, especially like in the Rush or the Romanian mafia. Keeps talking about them, but I mean, I would kind of want to just avoid the topic in general, because somebody like Piers, you give them a number, they're going to say how old are they, and then start pressing more questions.
I just don't understand why that is such a touchy topic. They're going to kill my kids.
No, but I mean,
I think it's just more of him trying to beat his chest about it. I'm like, you just don't understand how much I have to fight the Matrix.
I'm super fertile.
These guys, man, if they find out my sperm got out.
Yeah, I'm willing to give him a little bit of a pass on this one. A lot of celebrities hoard their kids out and find it really gross. So if he doesn't want to talk about his kids, I don't really give a shit.
Again, it's not talking about it's just how many.
I don't know. Is he going to count all the sperm inside the little jars in his refrigerator? Because then it's millions.
Caring for your children. I understand that as a father, right? And obviously, and you have a partner?
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
I think I asked you last time and you were a bit cryptic about it. You're not married yet?
No.
You have a partner who's the mother of your children?
Correct.
The same woman is the mother of all your kids?
It's confidential.
It's a bit stupid to say confidential.
It is confidential, Piers. It's
I
confidential.
don't think you...
Say, you got baby mamas out there? Hey, man, there's people that want to hurt me.
Well, maybe he means the moms, because he's not paying child support because he's broke right now.
You marry and have kids with is confidential, sure.
It is for me.
Really?
Of course, I am basically #1 enemy of the state, Piers. Look what they've done to me.
Andrew Tate is the #1 enemy of the state.
Yeah, well, Keeverdam just said it. He caused single motherhood.
He does. He's another one of those people, for all they preach, they sure as fuck don't practice it.
Someday he's going back with those cigarettes, Monkey.
He's coming back.
What have they put me in jail for? At the beginning of this garbage, people were sitting there thinking, maybe he's a human trafficker. It's been a year. Who? Show me a picture. Show me a video. Who's even a victim? There's nobody. The whole thing is made up.
Well, we're going to come to what they say you've done, right? We're going to come to that. But I'm just curious. You come out of prison. You've got no ability
I'm just being serious here, and we'll still let it play. Am I wrong that Piers is asking some really stupid questions this is like a Barbara Walters bullshit. How did you feel? What tree would you be?
If you were an animal in a Romanian jail, what animal would you be? Be a tiger, Piers, because I'm a big old pussycat.
to access any of your assets. How have you been functioning financially since then?
I believe in prayer and I trust in God.
Well, prayer doesn't pay the bills.
And I do my very best.
But prayer doesn't pay the bills.
Unfortunately, absolutely everything I own was seized by the Romanian state. So I'm just going to have to survive and do my very best.
Yeah, but how?
I'm doing my very best. Piers.
Have you got wealthy benefactors helping you?
I'm doing my very best. I wish I had wealthy benefactors. I wish I had.
No, he's got 12-year-old kids who are throwing money at him. Did you see he's got a new Tate University thing, but this one only costs $50?
Oh, well, hey, discount.
Yeah. And it's just
you-
another thing that teaches you how to do drop shipping.
Oh, of course it is. That's a pretty common one.
Drop shipping is the 900 numbers of the internet.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can
Drop
make money.
shipping's been around for decades.
And you can make money drop shipping. You can. It is a very involved business. You have to be involved in it.
Yeah.
And that's not proof. And even if you are, it's not, guaranteed that you're going to make money. Just like the old 900 number. Do you remember the people who would try to, hey, I'm going to teach you how to get rich by buying 900 numbers.
Mm-hmm.
That's all this shit is. But
Oh, yeah. There's always some get-rich-quick scheme people will fall for.
why is he afraid to say, I get donations, I have my little university, I have my $100 comic book? No,
Yeah.
I just by prayer. That's how I did it.
Yeah,
I
why
pray
did
to
he
God.
say
I mean,
I have other revenue streams?
yeah.
Had people on my side.
You
who were
can't
back.
function on no income at all.
Seems you can.
How?
It seems you can. Motherfucker, we can see the ways you make money.
Yeah. Also, Piers doesn't understand homeless people exist.
Apparently not.
So those are the peasants beneath him. Because he doesn't understand that you cannot have any income coming in and still somehow survive. Illegals do it all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd imagine that Andrew's probably being a little cagey because he has like some offshore accounts he doesn't want them knowing about, or he has some bank accounts in other countries that he set up via the internet for these
But
other
these-
revenue streams.
These other revenue streams, as long as they're not him forcing women into doing prostitution online, they wouldn't be related to the case.
Well, I wouldn't think so, but you gotta kind of separate them from the other stuff anyway, just so that they're not fruit of the poisonous tree and they get seized. I'm sure there's some legal nuance bullshit that he has got to jump through, and he's just being kind of cagey on legal advice.
Pumpkin Hawk, thank you so much. Says hi, Jack and Monkey. Also, I want to give a shout out to the best mod ever, Miss Star. You mean Miss Nuts? Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Hey, Pumpkin Hawk, how you doing, man?
And everybody knows we love nuts around here. That's a horrible clip.
Yep.
But the people around here know what nuts mean. So anyway.
I'm doing my very best, Piers.
What does that mean?
It means I'm doing my very best. Absolutely everything I own is taken by the Romanian state. I don't have anything they don't have.
Bullshit.
Pay for food.
Just do my best.
Who has the money from your comic book, dummy?
Probably an LLC.
What does that mean?
It means that I believe in God and I pray.
Well,
every
God's not going to
single
pay
day.
your bills.
God has been paying my bills so far, it seems. It's amazing how far faith can take you.
God's paying his bills. Allah's sitting on his ass.
Apparently. All those chicks are saying, Jesus Christ.
Often when you have absolutely nothing left, people turn to faith, but you should turn to faith first. And you should believe in God when things are good, and that he will be there when times are bad.
All right, you believe in God and all that, but you got a baby mama, at least one, that you haven't put a ring on yet. I'm fairly certain the Abrahamic religions are like, if you knock her up, you really need to be married.
Oh, you'd think so, but how old was she? Was she all old and like spinster age? Like, you know, 'cause she's Muslim, so maybe like she was like 20. So she's all old and wrinkly. He was just doing a service.
Pastor Prime.
Yeah.
Pastor Muslim Prime.
Initially, you were put on this sort of rolling 30-day house arrest, and they kept renewing that month by month by month. And then in June, you and your brother and two others were formally charged with rape, trafficking, and forming an organized crime group to sexually exploit women. And there were 7 alleged victims named in the indictment. You said at the time, I look forward to being found innocent. You said earlier, who are these women? Well, there are 7 named in the...
Well, he also said earlier that all he did was that he was only charged with helping women get viral on TikTok. Come on, Piers, don't be a pussy on this one.
Indictment.
Yeah, have you seen the videos of them on the internet saying we're not victims? They made us be victims. We told them.
The two girls that said that, where you are caught on Romanian jail phone telling somebody that they had to tell these girls to do it.
Yeah, wasn't one of them like a co-conspirator too?
I don't know if one of those was the video, but I do know the two that are so famous. Remember, Piers just said 7 victims.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them came out with their videos like, he's the nicest guy ever. Please don't beat us. I mean, something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, it'd be a real shame if you didn't support Andrew right now.
That will all
Victims?
presumably be analysed in a trial. Do you know when the trial may be?
I have no idea. It's going to
Do
be.
you, do you believe it will happen?
I'm not sure. It could get to a point where a judge, anytime before the trial, decides his case is garbage and throws it away.
And that's true. In Romania, a judge goes in before the trial and looks at everything and decides whether or not it's actually going to trial.
Mm-hmm.
So it could, he's right. This could absolutely be just tossed out by a judge at some point. It depends on how much of his money he can get back. I mean, depends on whether or not the judge agrees.
Depends on if that judge gets a new Porsche.
You asked me what I believe happened. It's very simple. They threw me in a jail cell knowing they had no case, knowing they had no victims, but they thought if they plaster me all over the MSM and they say that I'm a bad person and they call enough people, they will find the case they want. They couldn't find it. You name the date they charged me. They had 6 months to charge me. Usually the Romanian state, even the American embassy confirms to me, charges within 30 days. With me, they used all 6 months trying to build a case and find actual victims of an actual crime. They couldn't. They charged me on the very last possible day they could, unless they'd have to drop the entire case. And they charged me with garbage because they have nothing. There are no victims. I've done nothing wrong. And
There are no, he just told you 7 victims. You sued 2 of them, fucker. So you can go out there and say, hey, yeah, did you see the videos where these women like me? Oh, let's say that's perfectly true, Jack. Let's say that those women did that of their own volition, which we know they did not. But let's say they did, just for argument's sake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you sue the other 2? Why are you suing them?
Well, it still leaves unaccounted for victims because only 2 of them came out to support him.
Yeah, that still leaves 3 others who are unnamed right now.
Yeah, because there were 7, so
Yeah.
Sued
Yes.
2 said no. That's 3 mystery ones still up in the air.
But they could find no victims. Why is Andrew famous again? Because he told some people what they wanted to hear. That's all. And he got a little spicy about some of it.
Yeah, same way anybody gets famous, he worship Moloch or something.
He made a lot of money having the cam horse shit, and then he goes over to social media to promote himself, and he spent a lot of money promoting himself. That's all.
Yeah, he's really good at marketing.
Yeah.
they've tried very hard. And let me say something very pertinent to the audience here. It's very difficult when you're thrown inside of a jail cell. You do not have access to social media. You do not have access to money. The entire MSM establishment are calling you a bad person. Hotlines are set up saying, if Andrew Tate's ever hurt you, call this hotline. You're a rich person where people may want to get money from you and exploit you and extract resource from you. And they're sitting here calling anyone you've ever known. They called my gardener's daughter, who I've never even spoken to, asking if I've ever done anything wrong to her or said anything wrong to her, trying to find victims of a crime that don't exist. It's actually a miracle from God that no one's come out trying to extract money from me.
7 women. This is what I'm talking about with him being a fucking coward where he can't even just admit it. Piers just gave us the number. They couldn't find a single victim. 7. And I hope he brings up the lawsuit. I really do, because there are the 2 that you sued claiming that they defamed you.
Mm-hmm. I'd also like to point out that while he's in court right now in Romania, some of these charges could still apply to him in the United States.
Oh, yeah, true.
So if he comes back here, he could still be charged with human trafficking, despite what the Romanian court says, because we don't listen to that shit.
Whole thing is garbage. They could do this to anybody. Piers, they could do this to you. They could put you in a cell, put all over the media you're a sexual exploiter, and for 3 months talk about how bad you are when you can't defend yourself and call everyone you've ever interacted with. And if anybody you were ever rude to once decides they want a payday or some fame, they can use it against you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he tweeting from jail?
I believe near the end he was. But it could have been somebody else, relaying a message. And that is great pause game, by the way.
Thanks.
That's a dookie face right there.
That's
Who
the
does
face he
number
made.
2 work for?
It's the face he was making in the laundry room.
Oh,
Even if it was him telling other people what to post on social media, that's still him being able to get to social media. It's not direct, but how
Insane.
The Romanian authorities' prosecution files accuse you of using verbal and physical abuse to keep women in line, taking 50%, I believe, of the women's online income. Although I believe that figure could vary, could be up to 80%. Is that right?
No, they accuse me of exploiting women who did TikTok. The same women who say we were not exploited. He just told us how to do TikTok. Also in the
two of them who were told by Andrew Tate to do it.
yeah. Also, nobody's saying you taught them how to make money on TikTok. You were forcing them to do cam whore work, not TikTok. You fucking idiot. Stop deflecting.
Piers Morgan is actually talking about the charges, and he's like, no, it's just TikTok. No, it's fucking not. You can read this shit online.
Yeah. But his fans are going to accept his version of it, and they're going to just keep repeating that. Oh, it's on TikTok. No, it's not.
He could, if he was being honest, and he believes it's just the TikTok thing, what he would say is, yes, that's what they charged me with, but all I did was help women on TikTok.
Yeah, that would be a much better phraseology.
But he is literally claiming that that's all he was charged with. No, it's literally not. Oh, fuck.
prosecution file, if you want to talk about it, there's not a single bank transfer. There's not a single piece of evidence for any money. So I'm accused of making money from TikTok, but they haven't found any money. There's no money, and the victims are saying, I didn't exploit them to do TikTok.
They're saying he didn't exploit me on TikTok. It was OnlyFans.
It was on OnlyFans.
The whole thing is a joke.
What is, I think, problematic for you is the war room, which was a group
miscategorized and misunderstood.
It was called the war room.
Correct.
Okay. And it had a lot of people who were dubbed the generals who ran the war room
Correct.
for you. And the war room,
one of whom has also been charged with sex trafficking now. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
500 to 600 members. You paid, I think, $6,000+ to be a member of this. And when you saw the logs of the web chats between people from the war room to each other, a lot of it made disturbing reading. Were you disturbed by it when you read that?
Firstly, a lot of that is bullshit. A lot of that's fake. Secondly,
you think they're literally...
Now it's all fake. Just like when he talked to the BBC and claimed he had never said the shit that was posted on his fucking website.
Nothing to see here.
Those logs are fake.
Absolutely. Secondly,
but the BBC verified them.
The BBC verified them. Or they're the same people who verified the vaccine. Those people, they're liars. First.
I'm sorry. What? The BBC verified the vaccine?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Firstly, a lot of them are fake. Secondly,
were you disturbed by anything you read?
No, because none of it's real. Firstly. Secondly, there's 4,000 members in the war room. Thirdly, the war room is about masculine personal development. We talk about fitness, making money, strength. We talk about
You talked about how to treat women like shit and get them to cam whore for you.
Yeah, manly shit.
Manly shit.
Yeah. Then you pee on them when they're done.
Yes.
That's
4,000 members inside. If you're telling me that amongst 4,000 members with 24-hour chats 7 days a week for the last 5 years, they managed to find 2 guys talking locker room talk, and that somehow offends the world, then nobody
No, they were literally talking about your system of how to turn chicks from videos you've made to turn chicks into whores. Literally talking about
excuse
turning
me,
women out.
It has a name, Monkey. It's called the Romeo method.
We used to call them pimps.
You understand
Hate fact.
how the world works. That's not why I was in jail. It's nothing to do with the war room. I was in jail because I spoke against power, because I told the truth about COVID, because I told the truth about the war in Ukraine, because I told the truth about all of these things.
I don't understand why people would want to put you in jail for giving your opinions about COVID or Ukraine.
Because,
Why would they?
why wouldn't they?
Well, why would they? Why would
because
they
that's how
say?
the-
Why would they
because-
say that Andrew Tate's opinion is so important on Ukraine that we have to put him in jail?
Because-
I don't buy that.
Oh, thank you, Piers. Thank you. 100%. Nobody gives that much of a shit about you, Andrew.
It does if you're a narcissist.
They had to shut me down.
Like, he might be paranoid and delusional. I don't know. He sounds very paranoid and delusional right here.
I don't believe that he believes it.
I don't either, but I'm not ruling out the possibility that he has some severe, like, persecution complex issues.
Black Romeo says, I, as a Romeo, am offended. I understand.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that is fair, actually. Yeah,
Yeah, everything Black Romeo does is the Romeo method.
that's true. That's how
Yeah.
he makes love.
Because I was the most Googled man on the planet, and I had a huge affinity with the most troublesome demographic for the Matrix, which is
13-year-olds?
Women.
the young masculine youth, the people who
Yeah, he meant the 13-year-olds. All right.
you need to die in wars, the people who you need to psyop into being slaves to build the roads while telling them that they're not allowed a point of view and they're not allowed an opinion on anything. And I was saying things which was going against the narrative. And the Matrix, the way it operates is it uses the MSM to purport lies, to inject slave programming into people's brains so that we live lives which are not good for us, but are good for them. And I was sitting there unplugging it. Why would they sit there and say, we've put together this massive psyop. We're going to convince everybody to inject themselves with poison, and we're going to lock everyone in their houses, and it's all a lie. And we're going to let this one
Well, it
guy
wasn't
who
all a lie.
everyone listens
Andrew,
to.
it wasn't all a lie.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't. There was
Lie.
a new novel coronavirus. Okay, I'll tell you what.
Andrew Tate doesn't think COVID is real.
Oh.
You can disagree with the numbers, you can disagree with the vaccine, but SARS-CoV-2 is a real thing.
Is it?
You can think that it was over exaggerated, but it was a real thing. It is still a real thing.
I have it on reliable sources from Anton LaVey Jr. here that it was made up psyop.
It was a psyop to shut him up.
Well, obviously.
See, this is what he does that I fucking hate. Because you can sit there and say, yeah, there were issues with how COVID was, dealt with. But he's using that to try to get himself out of trouble for shit he did. Shit he's literally admitted to.
Yeah, like he's so close to having an actual nuanced take on it that, but then it redirects into him, and he's feeling like a targeted individual again. Like he's about half a step away from talking about gang stalking.
He's a fucking narcissist.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Everything is about him. Fuck. All right, he's giggling that COVID is real. Let's see where this goes. Fuck.
I'll tell you what the facts were, and you can then laugh at them if you wish.
Sure.
But there was a novel coronavirus, COVID-19. It was killing thousands of people a day.
Really?
Yes,
That's
absolutely. Yeah, and I know people who died.
Who doesn't? I knew people who died before Corona.
Fine, I'm sure people died of lots of things, but it was killing exponentially thousands and thousands of people. And then vaccines were developed at very high speed, and they managed to save, in my estimation, millions of lives. You may not agree with that.
Absolutely.
But those are facts as assumed by the body of scientific and medical experts in the world.
The body of scientific and medical experts, you mean the Matrix?
I think he would have been better off saying the scientific and medical industry that also thinks you can turn a boy into a girl by chopping stuff off. I think that would have been a much more effective argument than the Matrix.
Everything's the fucking Matrix.
That's his shtick, dude.
You think when he stubs his toe, he's like, fuck, the Matrix got me.
Yeah, because the Matrix created that. I mean, we live in an artificial construct, so the Matrix did do that. Everything you interact did that.
I'm just imagining him on a toilet. It's a little hard to get out, and he's like, the fucking Matrix. I hate that my brain went there.
That's your fault.
I could get.
What is the Matrix?
The Matrix are a bunch of people who could come up with studies from the sky to say anything they want them to say, so they can use the MSM to purport garbage inside of people's minds. So you end up locked in your house, clapping for the NHS like a performing seal, injecting yourself with experimental poison for the 9th time. It's a lie. There was no reason to lock everyone in their house. More people died from missed cancer appointments than anyone ever died of COVID. People always got the sniffles before COVID, and they've always got it since. Let me ask you a question.
Hang on,
sir.
it wasn't.
Where has COVID gone?
It wasn't.
Diseases don't
Where have all the COVID gone? Oh, wait, that was Cowboys. Never mind.
go away.
It wasn't.
Where's COVID
It
gone?
wasn't. Well, COVID strains have got milder, as indeed flu did. Flu used to
so
kill.
it's gone away.
Oh, flu pandemic.
No,
in,
he didn't say it went away, you fucking idiot. He said it got milder, which was expected.
For the purposes of my amusement, will you rewind it, like memorize where we're at so we don't have to listen to the whole thing over again? But when he first started to answer that last question, and he went on that long rambly tirade, he said something very specific about who the Matrix is.
Sure. Okay, let's see. I think this is where he's asked.
The body of scientific and medical experts. You mean the Matrix? I could get.
What is the Matrix?
You mean right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A bunch of people who could come up with studies from the sky to say anything they
Right
want
there,
them to say.
right
They
there.
can use the
Evolved? Did you hear what I just heard? They came up with studies out of the sky. The fucking cloud people did it.
You fucking
The Chinese
asshole.
were framed. Sorry, I went a long way for like a 2-second joke there, but
That's all right. It was a good joke. Excuse me. All right. I think we're right here.
Where has COVID gone?
It wasn't.
Diseases don't go away.
It wasn't.
Where's COVID
It
gone?
wasn't. Well, COVID strains have got milder, as indeed flu did. Flu used to
so
kill.
it's gone away.
Well, flu pandemic in about 100 years ago killed 50 to 100 million people, and it's got steadily milder over the decades since. This is normal medical science pathway for most pandemics, right? So on that, I mean, you're sort of.
Andrew doesn't like. He's over there acting like a petulant child.
yeah, he doesn't like being challenged.
Cast iron, it was all Matrix MSM nonsense, is palpably untrue.
Well, I'll tell you why that's not true. Let me tell you my personal experience with COVID. I'm an extremely logical person. At the beginning, when everyone was dying,
As someone who has a deep belief in logic, what he just
Weirdo.
said offended the fuck out of me.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't believe in logic, because then I don't get offended by it. Real
dropping
quick.
dead in the streets and
Thank you, Keldrick. The Anton LaVey comparison becomes increasingly more appropriate. I know, right? It works, doesn't it? It's creepy how well, too.
I'm an extremely logical person. At the beginning, when everyone was dying, dropping dead in the streets in China, which I never saw, by the way, funny. And the Italian hospitals were full. English hospitals were never full. Funny. Me and my brother sat there and said, if this disease is so deadly, it can damage us as strong military-age males, and the world is over. So there's no point in hiding in our house.
It wasn't really damaging the. God, fuck! I hate people like this. Because there are a lot of problems with how COVID was presented. I can't talk about them because we're on YouTube. But the fact of the matter is, if you were under the age of 60, you were probably going to be okay. It was not, COVID was not killing all of the military-aged men, you fucking retard.
We decided to go.
They do more harm to the argument than good. You'd be better off for the argument itself if you just shut the fuck up because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But I'm logical. No, you're not. You're a fucking retard. You're a retard who sells masculinity to 13-year-olds.
But again, if he buys into his own nonsense, he does think he's being logical because he's a fucking nut.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Also, Lisa came in and said, "Oh, look, 2 complete bell ends." And I'm like, we're the regular hosts here.
Again, fair enough.
On day one of COVID, day one when everyone still believed, we went to Sweden. Why does no one talk about the fact that Sweden was open the entire time? Why does no one talk about the fact they didn't have masks or lockdown or vaccines? My brother and I.
People do.
Why don't they talk about how hot Swedish chicks can look?
God damn.
What's up, ladies?
Partied in nightclubs 7 days a week for 3 entire months while everyone in England was
Sweden
locked in their house.
Sweden actually had a number of restrictions.
Not when I was there.
Not
It
as
was
dra-
open.
Not as draconian as we had in the UK, and there are certainly legitimate questions to ask about the scale of our lockdowns. I think people panicked. They saw what was happening in Italy, which had the second best medical healthcare system in the world, and people were
Wow,
dying
you're in
in
big
massive
trouble if Italy's high on the list.
numbers, and the hospitals were overrun. So people may have panicked.
Did you hear about the guy who died in a motorcycle crash and it was a COVID death? You hear about that one?
Well, there was certain
Downing
people,
Street didn't seem very concerned with
there
COVID.
was a
I thought
long
they were
there was a
partying.
long debate about people dying of
That was in Florida, and we've talked about that one many times. They did eventually fix it.
Yeah, but it took media exposure.
It did, yeah.
Again, Andrew's kind of right on some of this, but he's trying to make this grand conspiracy thing. No, this was just generalized incompetence, fear, and boobery.
Look, I believe part of it was to test things. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, test how much authority you can grab. There is always people trying to seize power. That's true in any emergency.
Yeah, but he's using it to be like, this is why they locked me up. Nobody gave a shit what you were saying about COVID. And I would be very interested because he got arrested in April. I'd be very curious to see how much he said about COVID before then.
Even then, this is such a far-reaching tangent. He's not charged with medical misinformation or anything.
No.
So it's really not relevant. They're just caught in the weeds on this because this is a personal bugaboo of Piers.
Look,
He really hates the so-called misinformation people.
And Andrew is trying to make the point that governments are corrupt, which is fair, but they're not coming after you for that. You are really not that important.
of COVID or with COVID. I know all that, but the bottom line for me, it is indisputable that COVID was a deadly pandemic that killed a lot of people. It turned out a lot of older people more than young people, but they didn't know that at
So's
the
the
time.
flu.
Okay, I just, we have to.
Turned out a lot of older people more than young people, but they didn't know that at the time, not for a long period.
We knew that before it ever left China.
Monkey, your hate facts are just going to get you in trouble on here.
It's got us in trouble on here. But seriously, this was known before it ever left China that it was mostly affecting old people.
Yeah, well, that's usually who it affects when there's even the flu kills more old people than young, healthy people.
Yeah. And unlike COVID, it will hit children really hard, young children. But COVID wasn't doing that. And we knew that from the beginning, what we would consider the beginning when it spreads outside of China. It was already known. So, Mr. Piers, if you're gonna talk about this shit, you need to get it right too.
The vaccine saved millions of people's lives. There are legitimate questions about some of the boosters, about some of the side effects of the vaccines, as there are, by the way, with all vaccines.
But you should also point out there's questions about whether or not it should have been given to certain people, because certain age groups, there was no reason to give it to them. None, zero, zilch. There was no medical science. I got to shut up because we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
But the idea that COVID is some invention by the Matrix to suppress and control its people is for the birds, Andrew. It's
Well,
for the
It
birds.
seems the birds and
And I
I are
don't
friends.
think a smart guy like you actually believes that.
Of course, I
And that's one of my
absolutely
problems.
believe that.
One of my problems.
He doesn't believe COVID was real.
Well, Tom Cruise doesn't believe that psychology's real, so I mean he's a Scientologist, so beef
Again, there's lots of shit to question, but COVID was 100% real. It is
flu
a thing.
vanished for a while, but
You can look at like the death numbers. This is what I was really interested coming out of 2020 is, was there a spike in the number of deaths in the US? And there absolutely was. COVID killed people. And yes, it was people with underlying conditions, people with comorbidities, people with being old as fuck. But it still was a real fucking thing. Jesus Christ. This is the kind of shit now I'm going to be compared to. Like, oh, so you don't believe COVID's real? No. Gee, shut the fuck up, retard. These are the kind of people that make real arguments look stupid because they're the ones who get the attention.
Is this going to end with him blaming the Jews?
Probably.
Problems I have with you is that I think you are intelligent. But
He's
I think
not.
you also adopt positions.
He's not intelligent. He's good at marketing. That's it.
No, we're going to get the anti-matrix mob inflamed, and it's just these all-encompassing views you have. COVID was a load of nonsense. Vaccines are all dangerous and killing more people than they
Never
say.
said that. I
No,
said the
but-
COVID vaccine.
Well, COVID vaccine. Well, you don't think they worked?
No, of course not, because the idea
Of
of
course
a
they
vaccine,
worked.
the word vaccine in and of itself is that you
They
get
saved millions.
I still think the vaccine worked for people. Older people who needed it. Probably saved a lot of fat people too.
I feel judged. I
Millions of
survived.
lives.
if you get
I think for some people, it's one of those things where you have to weigh the good against the bad. And I think there's a tipping point where the vaccine makes sense.
a vaccine, you do not get the disease. They changed the definition of vaccine in the dictionary so they could continue to inject us with this pointless poison. So I had the vaccine for polio. I've never had polio. You got the vaccine for COVID, and you're bragging online how you have COVID for the 8th time, but it's not that bad because you've had 6 injections. It's insane. And please understand my position.
And that's true. And this is why mRNA has had such a hard time over the years of getting approved for any kind of use, is because it's not as effective as what we would call traditional medicine. It doesn't mean it never works. It just means that it's not as effective.
Yeah, they're really hung up on this tangent, though.
Yeah, they are.
We're not even halfway through this. Oh, fucking hell.
Nope. And we're probably, Jack, we're going to wrap up here. I don't even know.
Are you
how long.
sure? Because, I mean, I could handle another half hour because that'll only be like 5 minutes.
No. No, the little one's awake. She didn't sleep very well. I'm going to go up and hang out with her and Lady Monkey. The little one woke me up last night. So I woke up, Jack, and let's get these two idiots off the screen. Let's talk about this. Is there anything else you want to say about these retards? We'll revisit them tomorrow or another day. It's 28 minutes in, just so we remember. But anything else?
Somebody write that down because we'll forget.
The guy's an idiot, and so far what we've seen is him lying and being a coward.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jack, I'm sleeping, minding my own fucking business, and I get cold, and I wake up because I'm cold and I'm uncovered. I have all my covers off. I never sleep that way because if I sleep with my skin exposed, my skin gets ridiculously cold and it hurts. And so I pull my blankets back on, and the little one comes over and cuddles up to me, and she's like a little heater. I don't know if you've ever had little kids sleep on you or anything. They generate so much heat. Like if you got a baby and you're rocking them and they fall asleep and you sit down with them, they're just like little heaters. And eventually, like, I need an ice pack over here. But she cuddles right up against me. And then she does this. She kicks off all the fucking blankets. I was like, nope, that's it. I'm done. I'm not sleeping anymore. But apparently she had trouble sleeping after that as well. And she's been up for about an hour and a half. So I'm going to go hang out with them. I still love the cuddling. I really do. But when she kicked off all the blankets, I'm like, are you kidding me, child? Are you kidding me? But so adorable. Jelly. Yeah. Look, I still love it. I love when the kids cuddle up to grandpa because I just love the kids, man. They make life worth living. So thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much for the donations. You guys are fucking awesome. We really appreciate it more than we could ever express.
Very true.
Jack, anything you want to shill out?
I'll drop a couple links in the chat there. As always, like Monkey said, thank you so much for the donos. It really does keep us going because we're poor. And you guys are awesome. And you put up with a lot from us. Even if you disagree with us, we get people that come back time and time again to listen to us. And we appreciate that. It's important to hear perspectives you don't necessarily agree with.
And on that note, I do want to point out, there are times, and you mentioned this earlier, that Andrew Tate is spot on with some of the stuff he says. And then there's times like this where it's you're just lying or you're dumb. Like COVID didn't exist. COVID was a real thing, homie. And you can argue that it wasn't as bad as people say, but to argue that it didn't exist at all is just fucking insane, man.
Well, since everything around you is a fictional construct of a computer, technically, none of
it's the
real.
Matrix. It's the Matrix. Fuck. All right, guys. Thanks for watching us. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. We'll talk to y'all later. Take care now.
Bye, everybody.
Tonight, I'm not going to end the song in the middle of the damn song like I did last time. I'm going to keep singing because it's something I do. And it's interesting to me if it's not to you. Bye, guys.